eternal sadness.
Am I first? Oh yeah. First as hell. Haha, nope. Gotta tweet this shit out. You're not living life if you ain't tweeting. If you ain't tweeting directly to Belle Delphine, you ain't living life. Alright, there we go. It has been done. The deed is done, sir. What shall I do now? We wait for the replies. The skunk is here. Where's the skunk? I'll see him. David De La Rosa with the first dono of the night. Thank you, sir. Says, hi, Joe. How you doing, buddy? I'm doing fantastic. I'm feeling really good. Getting a lot of shit done. As far as chilling app stuff, got that done for the month. And now we moving on to members only. Contento. Hello from Fort Leonard Wood. I don't know why saying that was hard to do. I thought this was members only. Oh, well, yeah, I was kind of worried that would like confuse people where like they think they wouldn't be able to access it, but I guess my thought process is like you can hear the stories, but then you have to be a member to like hear them in their, edited, mastered version. What beat is this? Yeah, this is from Night 8. Funk spelled with a PH. PHONK. Funk and Trap Mix on the Smooth Sounds YouTube channel. And this beat is called Varo Modern. VARO Modern. Some pretty deep ass cuts right here, baby girl. Feel me? New, love your channel. Oh, thank you, Misty. Appreciate that. Always good to see new fans. And old. Alike. Oh, shit. Ooh, ah. Ooh. A beat within a beat. Ooh, Chrisella. With the big $35 donation right out the gate. Says how many stores we got tonight. Yes, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got 12 stories lined up for you tonight. And these are actually within the realm of creepypasta. They're members only stuff, so you're only going to see them in the members only playlist once it's edited and up. It's not going to be like a normal video situation. Tomorrow's actual video is a compilation, like podcast. It's a normal pod. I do that once a month podcast compilation. But these are all brand new stories. But they're from Sam Riding. He has helped me with members only content before, writing some really good creepypastas. If you've heard his stuff, he also helps me with researching true crime things, and has just been a fantastic writer to work with. So I'm pretty stoked to read these and see how things go and see what you guys think. But thank you again, Chrisella, for the 35 bonos, and Klaus with the 5 says, what story are we doing? Yes, so we got creepypastas. Also, they're going to be all over the place. And another awesome fellow is here, Mr. Derek Weber, Scary Stories. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. With the dono, says, love when you read fiction. Sick beat too. Oh, thank you. Yeah, these are dope. I mean, I wish I could take credit for these, but it's not that I'm not musically inclined. It's just that I never really tried, but I love beats. And this is from the Good Smooth Sounds YouTube channel again. But yeah, Mr. Derek actually helped me with the thumbnail for this, and it's pretty sick. So you'll be able to see that over on social media later on. Oh, you mod for Lazy Masquerade? Nice, that's awesome. We're pretty good on mods right now. I don't think the chat really gets too wild, to be honest with you. And we got, you know, right now I think we got like 4 in the house. And I don't even know, maybe like 10 in total. If only Mr. Nightmare could do a live. Yeah, I think Mr. Nightmare, he'd just be doing his own thing, you know what I mean? Coming off the AVs, winning the Stanley Cup straight to Joe. Oh yeah, I always forget that like basketball and hockey is like around the same, the playoffs are around the same time frame. Which is cool, I just don't really care about either. Like, I like the sports, I just don't know anything about the professional stuff. Where did you make, or who made your animation for your live stream? Yeah, that's from Robin Mikalsen. He does most of my thumbnails. He didn't do the one for today's video, but you'll see his name pretty much linked, or at least to his Instagram, on almost every video. And he's actually going to be helping me edit. He's going to be helping me edit the next, like whenever I start that new channel. I'm leaning towards the name Inspector. I'm just not really sure. I saw that there was an anime called In/Spectre, and I was just like, ah, fuck. I don't know if I can compete with an anime. The stories tonight are made up. Yes, so the stories tonight are fictional, but they're from like No Sleep, written by Sam Riding, because they're members. It's a members only thing, just to verify with you.
Mischievous dog.
It's not a normal video. What do you have to do to be a modder? Well, you just have to not want it, you know what I mean? You just have to not desire it, and then one day, who knows, you might just wake up. Yeah, Inspector Gadget. Pavlos Glover, welcome back. 5 months in the Buttersock Call. You'll get these stories nice and edited in your... I'm not really sure. YouTube doesn't really notify people about new stuff, but you can anticipate after I record these tonight, I'll have them edited, and just be sure to check the members only playlist for updates, and I'll obviously update on social media as well. Are you gonna do live streams of your new channel? You know, I don't think so. I don't think the new channel, obviously it depends on how like big it gets. And you know, it's still like in, I shouldn't even be talking about it. It's still in the works right now. But no, I think the plan is me and Robin are gonna try to like go back through old true crime that I have, try to make at least 4 videos to get a jump start on things, and then do the sort of promotional aspect of it, and then I hope to do like weekly videos with it, you know what I mean? But the videos will only be like 8 minutes to like 15 minutes long, so yes, I will have a new channel eventually. Yes, it will be a true crime related channel. Joel, I sacrificed 17 people in your name. Thank you, John. That's not enough. We'll need more, but that'll do for now. That should appease. Blood for the blood gods, butter for the butter god, me. See, you got it mixed up. Squally, I'm on your Snap story. Let's go. It's an honor. It's been an honor serving with you, soldier. Okay, so tonight I'm actually going to see if I can use the voice for sweepy time. Okay, D-Shore. You get your sweepies. You get your 6 to 8 hours. Hey, Hanny, what's going on? Your sister's pregnant. I'm going to be a dad. Sorry, that guy. I should have read that first before reading it out loud. My bad. Honestly, I get trolled so easy. King Spook is back. I did see that. I did. Someone brought him up last time because I saw that he had a bit of a... I don't really know. It's been so long since I've talked to him. Like, literally, like, 5+ years. And, you know, I know he had a kind of an issue where all of his stuff, he took it down or was taken down. But I looked on it recently. Someone brought it up, and it's getting... he looks to be rebuilding his catalog of videos, so that's... Glad to see that. I hope he's doing well and all that good stuff, you know. Finally got notified at a decent time. Hell yeah. Let's go. I have a wild series of stories over a couple of years now. I'm officially a crime victim via Munchausen syndrome by proxy. I'm going to channel as it happens, but would love to talk about it. Yeah, I mean, if you have a story, please do send in to reddit.com/r/letsreadofficial or submit it over email. Let's read submissions at gmail.com. You have no money to donate tonight. It's okay, John. I'm not looking for donations. I'm just looking to chill. You guys are like, you keep me from going cray, essentially. Bro, what's the new channel about? Hey, Kashi. It's basically I'm taking all the true crime that I've read on this channel and then making like fully edited videos with that content over on another channel that I think will probably be called Inspector, but spelled kind of like Spectre, like a ghost. You know, like a ghost. Oh shit, Astro, bro. Nice, man. I didn't know they added that, but I guess we got it now. Dude, Astro, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. So, okay, cool. Wow. So, Lumini was gifted a membership. Richard Strader was gifted. Skittles. April D. Daisy Cupid. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. See, I think that's cool that they can do that now. Inspector Joel Osteen. Joel Ovaltine. Well, thank you, Astro. Everyone really appreciates that because now that you guys do have access, you can access the bonus content, the playlist, and that's actually quite a bit of stuff to listen onto there. So that is, I think, honestly, a cool thing. Swish. You can gift me, yeah, you gift memberships now. It's weird. I heard about it and I saw like Tim the Tap Man, one of the bigger streamers on here. You weren't gifted, you're on Subbing Forever. Well, if I could figure out how to... I wonder if I can I... Oh, I have to sign in on that side. Maybe in like... Because I was thinking of like a funny thing, like once they introduce like gifted subs, like depending on the number of ones that remember when I do push-ups, I was thinking of the number of push-ups that I can't get to, like, I can't finish. Those would be the number of, like, gifted subs that I gift. You know what I mean? So it's almost like an incentive. I guess that could really build on itself over time. Maybe we could put, like, a max number on that. I don't know. But because I don't know if I can really do the gifting on my end, maybe hypothetically one of the mods can do it and I can just pay them back or something like that. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but... Father, if I create a horror story or short, would you read it? Well, you can definitely send it in. I mean, I don't normally read fictional stuff, but I am tonight because it is members only, but you are more than welcome to write it up and submit it, and then, don't feel obligated to only submit it to my subreddit. You can submit it to all the other cool ones. 2-sentence horror stories or all the other stuff. No sleep. and get some internet points, baby. Push-ups did 1.5, couldn't get. Oh, that's okay. 1.5's better than 1, you know what I mean? And it's better than 0. You just keep trying, or do like the in-between where you're against a couch or some sort of inverted surface, and just slowly work your way down to 180 degrees flat. How's it going tonight? I hope you're having a brilliant evening. Tell Pradeep I said hello. I shall. He's so funny. Sometimes he honestly does hunt me as I walk through the halls. I just like won't be paying attention. All of a sudden I hear his like he just charges into action to kill me. Thankfully I don't have an actual panther for a pet. Otherwise I do honestly think he would kill me. What's up, Derpy? Incline the push. Most of the people that comment don't know about live stream. Well, that's the cool thing. I think with these gifted subs too, it goes to people. Well, it tries. I don't know this for certain, but I heard that it does try to give it to people that are here frequently or that are engaging with the content. So if you're here frequently, and you will eventually probably get a subscription. Oh yes, hit that like button. But yeah, another 4 minutes here or so, we will get into the stories. And D Shore, thank you again for the 1220. I should do weird dream stories. I have many. Yeah, what are your dreams about? Dreams are the best content. Not the Minecraft guy, but the thing that you have in your head when you sleep. That's like the best shit ever. One of your cats just started attacking your leg whenever I walk away. Yeah, sometimes they just be wanting that attention. I've been listening to your channel since 2016. I love to listen when I draw and write. That's awesome, Sam. Thank you. Keep drawing, keep writing, keep creating. You will do 1 cock push-ups a day every day. Cock push-up. The cock is a muscle, and it must be trained. I got a notification for this one, but never paid because I can't. Oh, well, it's not like this is only for members, you know what I mean? I just want to clarify that. It's just that I'm recording content that will then go into the members only thing, so no worries. Dreams are looking through your alternative selves' eyes. I mean, you really do learn a lot about yourself in your dreams, a little bit. Just your deepest, your shadow self, as they say. Love your channel, your podcast, also your voice. Thank you, Sabby. Sabby. I hope I'm saying that right. Anything that scared you the most with the stories? Yeah, I guess just some of the true crime stuff. Like, you just think about, like I was thinking about that, like, some guy came to look at my, like, water here at the house. And then I was just thinking about that one story we read where that guy was, like, traveling throughout, to, like, antique coin shops and shit, and just, like, killing people for the antique coins. But then was just having, like, a casual conversation with, like, a shop owner. And then I guess, like, somebody reported that he said, like, I don't know, that he was like, "You dumb bastard," to the guy. And then just shot him or whatever. I don't know. Just, like, I guess it kind of, like, logs into your subconscious. You don't expect it to happen, and I don't imagine it does very often, but just that idea that somebody is just could wake up one day and just be psychotic, you know what I mean? What's my favorite flavor of Ben and Jerry's? I guess just, like, the deer turd one. The one that's made with, like, actual deer droplets. When we drop the HD 1020p Let's Read Fart compilation. It's in the works, baby. Don't you worry. I still just, I gotta get the right frequency. I gotta get the right one. I gotta eat the right diet. It takes a lot of work, a lot of funding. But we'll get there. And honestly, rendering fart sounds in 1020p is not as easy as it sounds. The Whispering Gentleman. Thank you for the 5. No comment. Thank you. Dingleberry flavored, yes. They should make a Dingleberry something. Oh, it's Sabi. Oh, yeah, sorry. Sabby. So, you work at the gas station. Man, the stories I could share. I bet, yeah. Hopefully you got some protective glass. How do you feel about the Umbrella Academy? I was going to be productive today, but I binged the entire season. I never seen it, but I did hear they had a Winston on it, like from Overwatch. They had some sort of ape that lives on the moon or something, so I was like, alright, I'm down with that. Anyone ever say your voice sounds familiar when you're out and about? You know, they don't, honestly. I've never... The only time I ever got that was when I was ordering Chinese food one time, and the guy said that, and that was... But that was like... At a time when I don't know, that was like more than 6 years ago. It was really weird. Like, it was at a time when I don't think I should have been recognized, you know what I mean? Yo. I like this one. I don't know. Squawka's in the house. He's here to kill the sex bots. Where's Jacob? He's probably in a back lot, doing a dance, doing a prance. Give it a chance. You forgot to write a message. It's okay. You can write anything you want and I'll probably see it unless I'm reading. Wait, this is a member stream? No, it's honestly a stream for anybody that I'm just... See, I knew that would confuse people, me saying it, but I'm just recording members only stories. Anybody can listen to them. Alright, let's switch over to our reading screen. Once again, that's Night 8 funk and trap mix on the Smooth Sounds YouTube channel. This beat is called Nuclear, or no, Rooclear, Still Cold. I like it. I need some sort of like transitionary DJ bullshit with these scenes. I'm such a vibe. Thank you. I try to be as such. It would be fun. I wish I was better at freestyling. Sometimes I have goofy thoughts in my head, but like for, you know, rhyming and whatnot. But I think I would do much better if I like sat down and wrote the lyrics or something. It would be funny though if you had friends growing up that like I don't know, you just all gathered together and like tried to freestyle together as a group. Just because if you, I don't know, I feel like oftentimes you would fuck up and just be like, God damn it. And they'd be like, oh, you fucking suck. You fucked up on caffeine right now? Perfect. Aren't we all? And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Yes, so, once again, we got 12 stories. These are all, I think it should all even out to a typical length of a video. But yeah, it's all just a bunch of... The title of the video will be The Scariest Stories You've Ever Heard. And, this first one is called Bleach.
Mischievous dog.
Oh shit! Kashi coming in clutch with the 5 gifted members. This is cool. This is such a cool thing. Thank you, Kashi. Thank you so much. We got Ms. T was gifted. Jiffy Wax Jesus. Squally Skate. Miss Bunny. Starlaya. Welcome to the Buttersock Cult. You now have access to bonus content. Yeah, you can gift memberships, Lila. It's been a thing, not with me, but they've been like releasing it slowly in like a beta format. And I guess it took so long to get to me because I'm a fucking alpha. I'm a furry. All right, anyways. When my boyfriend dumped me, I thought I was going to die. I went home and cried myself to sleep. He was everything to me. I couldn't go on living without him. When I woke up, I decided I would do anything to get him back. First of all, I hit the gym. I put on my yoga pants and sneakers and put hours in on the elliptical and in the yoga studio. I worked on my diet too, cutting out fats and living off of wheat toast. But it wasn't enough. I needed results, and fast. So I hit up one of the girls at the gym for appetite suppressants. And they were good. Sometimes I didn't have to eat for an entire day. Sure, I felt woozy, but I generally have enough energy just to make it through. And next came the hair. I bought 2 bottles of strong peroxide and soaked my head in a bath for it for like a half hour. I must have zoned out a little because the next thing I knew, my scalp was burning like hell. It was all red and sore as I was combing it out, and little teeth kept ripping out in big clumps of hair, but it was the exact color I wanted, platinum blonde. After the hair came something a little more drastic. I'd always hated my face, how my eyes were too narrow and my mouth was too small. I had these big, goofy ears, too, that used to stick out if I brushed my hair behind them. They looked so ugly. So I took something from the kitchen drawer and made some changes. I sliced off my eyelids. I carved into the corners of my mouth. I filed down my teeth, too, a little pointy, but straight. And I cut off my big, stupid ears to make myself pretty. Now I was perfect. It was time to take back my man. It was the dead of night when I arrived at my boyfriend's house. I wanted to make it a surprise for him, so I didn't ring the doorbell. I went around back where I knew they kept a spare key hidden, but he wasn't alone. I wasn't mad, though, because when his new girl saw me, she screamed. She screamed because she knew she couldn't compete. She ran from the house. For a moment, my boyfriend just stared at me in confusion. His mouth was opening and closing like a fish out of water. I knew he didn't recognize me, so I told him it was me, that I'd fixed myself for him. Then he started to cry. I shushed him, stroking his hair softly as he wept. I just held him for a moment, seeing the blue and red lights flashing in the window, feeling the plastic handle of the kitchen knife still in my grip, and told him it'd all be okay. We'd be together forever. Okay, yeah, Jeff the Killer vibes right there. Alright, yeah, so some of these are, there's 12 of them, but yeah, some of them are kind of quick, and they're all over the place, so we'll see where we end up. You guys will have to tell me which one's your favorite by the end. My favorite? You're eating right now? Nice. It's good to eat food. What are you eating? I feel like that's something like, I could see a joke being written there, where people say like, what are you wearing? But I don't know exactly what context it would fit into, but you could call somebody like, what are you eating? No, yeah, these are stories from No Sleep. I just want to clarify that these are not true scary stories. These are for members, for the member section. Yeah, that was my own story, to be honest. Tequila sunrised my eyelids with eyeshadow today. Oh, you tequila sunrised your... I don't think I've heard of that before. What's that look like? Bodacious the Killer. Grandma with the $7 Reno Canadian maple syrup buckaroos. Thank you. Slides into the chat. Slides in the chat. And Shift IL V2. Hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the 5. And thank you again, Grandma. Geol, inquiring minds want to know what's your fursona. Yeah, so my fursona is it's like a slug beast named Sklorm, and basically I just drag my goo around the room. If you want to find me at all the conventions, just follow the trail of slime and you will find Sklorm in all of his glory. Hey! Chrisella with a 10 gifted memberships. We got M. Stassi.
Mischievous dog.
We got John. Carmichael. DPS FSU. Bakugo's Explosion. Brooke King. Mary.
Mischievous dog.
Baby Zoe. Trusk. Commander Hirata Idaku. I lost it. Fuck. Oh wait, here it is.
Mischievous dog.
Danielle W. Welcome all my friends to the Buttersock Call. It's cool. It's cool to see like the chat. I think it gives it to people that are in the chat. So it kind of like fills up the chat with green names. See, that's cool, man. Yeah, by the end of the night, everybody's name better be green. But thank you again, guys, so much. Thank you, Chrisella, for the 10
Mischievous dog.
gift. I feel like that's a lot too. So like, I feel like it should almost. I wonder if there's like I wonder if there's a way to differentiate on Streamlabs, like the difference between gifted subs and, you know what I'm saying? So that I can twerk, because that's a lot. So thank you so much, Chrisella.
Mischievous dog.
Twerk. Has there been a story you've told that stayed with you throughout the years? Every one of them. I remember all of them deep in my subconscious as I bury them there.
Dog.
I think you look great in green. Yeah, so I do believe it's kind of random who gets it, but I also do believe that as long as you're here and, I don't know, engaged in the chat or engaged in the stuff, like, I think that's the way that it prioritizes it, but I'm not really sure. How do you know if you're gifted a sub? It will say, like, in the list, and then your name will turn green. Hopefully you can see it. But yeah, once again, if your name turned green, you became a member, you can have access to the bonus content. There's a playlist with quite a bit of bonus content on there you can listen to. So thank you guys again. Last week, my Xbox finally died. It couldn't have happened at a worse time, right in the middle of a paycheck limbo where I'd have to wait a few weeks to afford repairs for a new console. So, I turned to streaming sites to get my gaming fix. At first, I mostly watched streamers play my favorites, mainly first-person shooters and the odd role-playing game. But upon finding a smaller, less user-friendly streamer who played things I'd never even heard of before, my curiosity piqued. The guy went by the username Creation Destruction, and unlike other streamers, he seemed to have zero interest in building or maintaining the following. Rarely did his viewing numbers exceed a dozen at a time. If users weren't put off by his obnoxious demeanor, they were certainly put off by his disturbing content. Like I said, Creation Destruction played stuff that I'd never seen or heard of. Some really messed up stuff, too. One evening, I was watching him play some heavily modded version of Half-Life 2, where he was tooling up with various automatic weapons in preparation for what I assumed was some kind of last stand mode. A handful of other users were watching and commenting, speculating on just what needs so much. Oh, I see. Curiosity piqued the cheeks. How do you gift? I'm not sure. I know that it's, at least for donating, it's down in the chat box area. There's like a number or like a dollar sign. Maybe it's under the dollar thing where you would normally donate. Yeah, the gifting membership is new. Oh, hey, Vixa. She's going to count. Appreciate it. Half-Life, remember Deathmatch Classic. You know, I didn't have a PC around that time to really get to enjoy the Half-Life stuff. A handful of other users were watching and commenting, speculating on just what someone would need so much firepower for. Then, we watched as Creation Destruction made his way down a quiet suburban street towards a public playground. Among the swings and jungle gyms, there must have been 30 to 40 happy children. The character design and AI were magnificently impressive. Each of these little sprites were uniquely dressed, and their action seems to be completely spontaneous. Just as I was admiring the work that had gone into such a mod, Creation Destruction opened fire. He hosed down the playground with hundreds of bullets, tiny bodies falling to the dirt as blood, brains, and bone fragments splattered the colorful climbing frames. In the bottom corner of the screen, in the dimly lit room he occupied with a black hoodie covering up most of his features, the streamer Creation Destruction smiled. The comments section erupted. Users called him sick, an incel, or a future school shooter. Others just left the room entirely. Eventually, all they were left with were me. Whoops. Water and Fire Tarot, what's up, dude? Members only. Yeah, so if you're familiar with how to, like with the green names and stuff like that, you can create bonuses like for members, and I usually create like bonus content. But usually what I'll do is I'll stream it within the stream. I'll record it, and then I'll turn it into like a full-on edited video later on over on the bonus content playlist, the members-only bonus content playlist. But what's going on, Water and Fire? I feel like I've seen you in the chat before, but I forget what kind of content. I assume you make tarot card related content. Eventually, all that were left were me and him. Where do you find these games? I asked with genuine curiosity. He typed his reply. I make them. I was stunned, beginning to type out some long-winded reply about how someone so talented should really focus on something a little less obscene. Before pressing send, I went back to edit what I'd written to come across a little more diplomatic than the others had. But when I looked at the bottom corner of my laptop screen, Creation Destruction was staring right into his webcam, like he could read what I was typing, like he was looking at me. A shiver went through me. I just closed the page and tried to clear my head. Creation Destruction was offline for a few days after that. I was kind of disappointed, I'll be honest. The kid was weird, sure, but he had talent. One evening, I went online to see what he was streaming again. My curiosity got the better of me, and I clicked. I began to watch as Creation Destruction played what was evidently some kind of stealth game. He was sneaking into a backyard, crouched and stalking as he tried to find a way into a house that seemed strangely familiar to me. I figured I'd just seen it in another video, but as he slid open a patio door and crept into a warmly lit kitchen, I realized what I was seeing. A woman had her back to his character, humming away to herself as she chopped vegetables on a sideboard. The moment I laid eyes on her, I knew who she was. It was my mom. He was in my parents' kitchen. God damn it, there's a fucking... Sorry. There's like a fucking fruit fly, and it was like flying like directly in front of my eyeball. That like really ruins the story. You know, Schick, there was recently a Raising Cane's put in pretty close, and all my friends say it's mid. What say you? Richard Rhodes, thank you, my friend. Good to see you. I have to try it for myself. Use the fly. I am a fruit fly reading into a big microphone. Your friends are full of shit and stupid. Cane's is great. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it myself. Or eat it myself. It was my mom. He was in my parents' kitchen. I was dumbstruck, paralyzed by the flood of questions that burst into my mind. the digitally perfect replication of my mom turned. When she saw Creation Destruction's character, she let out a blood-curdling scream. His character smacked her over the head with something blunt, knocking her unconscious before he could collect. Whoops. 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 Fuck, Okay, here we go. His character smacked her over the head with something blunt, knocking her unconscious, before he began to collect a variety of kitchen utensils. Then, to my absolute horror and disgust, he began to lift up the lifeless woman's dress. My shaking hands began to type, but stopped when I saw something moving on his webcam display. Creation's Destruction's face was pushed up right against the camera. A sickening yellow smile, full of broken teeth, stretched wide across his face. He looked much older than I thought. Black bags under his bloodshot eyes, dried blood around his snout-like nostrils. I shut my laptop and grabbed my phone, bringing up my parents' home phone number and waiting frantically as it dialed. With every ring, the anxiety in me grew until I was nauseous with desperation. But when someone finally answered, I heard the voice on the other end. I knew it wasn't my mom or dad. Who is this? Why don't you tell me who you are, and we can put my mom on the phone right now? I growled, apoplectic with fear. There was a pause, then a sigh. Son, this is Deputy Parkhill of the Suffolk County Police Department. Oh. I realize now that I should have did a policeman voice. Well, why don't you tell me who you are, and we can put my phone... Ah, fuck. Put my mom on the phone right now! I growled, apoplectic with fear. There was a pause, then a sigh. Son, this is Deputy Parkhill of the Suffolk County Police Department. I felt the blood drain from my cheeks. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but there's been a break-in. Story 2 complete. My cop voice. Everybody began cheering, Mom. They wanted me to do my cop voice. You don't understand. I have to stream. You can't. I need use of the dial-up internet connection. They want me to do the voice. Put my phone on the mom right now. Put the phone in my mom right now. Officer. Son, I'm an officer of the law. I can't do that. Your mom's gone, and it would be weird. Here's some canes. Thank you. Yeah, this story's about my stalker breaking into my house. I used to watch them stream. Any tips for a horror writer? Oh, shoot, good question. Tips, the only tip I've ever heard as far as writing goes is just to do it every day. You know what I mean? Just do it literally every day. It could be, 30 minutes, an hour, or more, however you're feeling. But just doing it every day. Consume as much as you possibly can of, other people's content. You know what I mean? Read H.P. Lovecraft. Read all of the classics. Read No Sleep. Watch movies. Read through screenplays of, horror movies and, read horror books. Stephen King. I don't know, all that kind of shit. And, eventually it's just going to start taking shape inside of you, you know what I mean? It's going to become a repetitious process of your personality. And, Anyways. HP is your love. Hewlett Packard. Lovecraft. Should do a face reveal at 1 million scubs. We'll see, we'll see. Hi, I'm Jake. I'm 13 and I live in Chloride, Arizona with my mom and my little sister, Emmy. Mom says our town has a funny name, but I don't think there's anything funny about Chloride. I do think that there's something funny about the weather today, though. Chloride, Arizona has the lowest annual rainfall of anywhere in the United States. So when it started raining this morning, we were surprised. I like it when it rains, and so does Emmy. It can get so dusty out here sometimes. That doesn't matter now, though, because now it's raining everywhere. The guy on the TV said this is the biggest rainstorm Arizona has experienced since records began, so that must be like a really long time. Me and my sister kind of look forward to rains each year. A lot of the time they come with big thunder and lightning storms. Mom says, 4th of July comes twice around here. Emmy thinks the storms are scary, but I think they're cool. Well, I normally think they're cool, but this one is really kind of scary. Because like I said, now it's raining everywhere. Mom is out at work, so I don't want to call her. She works really hard to keep us at school and stuff, so sometimes I watch Emmy while she's not home. Emmy went outside to play in the rain. There's no lightning, so she's not scared. But I am. I'm scared because the man on the TV looks scared. He says it's raining so hard all over the country that places are flooding. How some people are in big trouble because they can't get out of their houses. Emmy is still outside playing. I can hear her splashing in puddles. I'm glad she's outside. Hearing all this bad stuff might upset her. The man on the TV is talking to a smart guy. They're talking about mass casualty events. That means people are hurt. But how can just old rain be hurting people? It's just water, right? The TV man behind the desk is saying that it's raining all over the world. That every nation on Earth is reporting catastrophic amounts of rainfall that is somehow causing countless deaths. The smart man is talking about how the rain is hurting people, how the clouds aren't like anything meteorologists have ever seen. The rain is causing floods, damaging things, but something else is happening, something that is causing all these mass casualty events they keep talking about. Something in the rain is changing people. Not everyone, but enough. Enough that they're able to hurt other people. Enough that police and armies and air forces haven't been able to stop it. Then I hear it. The silence. I can't hear Emmy playing outside anymore. No splashing in puddles. No giggling little sister. I turn in time to see the door handle to our trailer slowly turning before a crack in the door allows the racket of the downpour to spill inside. Emmy? I ask. Is that you? But it's not Emmy. Not anymore. Rain zombies! Oh. You're about to eat SpaghettiOs and meatballs. Let's fucking go. I remember the ones in the Chef Boyardee cans. Those were some of my goddamn favorites. Anyone else here? Anyone else hearing about the giant solar thing pointing right at us? The giant solar thing? Are we about to have like a giant solar blackout? Or what is it called? Solar... Wait, like a solar eruption, mass coronal ejection. Is all the power's about to go out? See, that's what I've said forever. That if the government wants to shut down all the power on Earth through some sort of like, I don't know, varying degrees of EMPs and stuff like that, all you would have to do is slowly condition everyone's mind to thinking that there's some sort of like solar event going to happen. And then they're like, oh, we should look out for this or be prepared for that. Yeah, solar flare. And then you do that, and then big bada bing, bada boom. Nobody's well, they're worse for the wear, but they're not any more awares, I guess you could say. I found an old-ass can of Chef Boyardee in the pantry you can have. Thank you. You're gonna need it for the food wars. This story must have been set in 1947 when rain was still a possibility in the desert. Yeah, do you not get any Arizona or any rain in Chloride, Arizona? Mass coronal ejection. Yes. Mass coronal ejaculation. Lightning struck like 200 feet from me today? Holy shit, what was that like? Could you feel, did your hair go up, or do you feel anything? Inflation has infected something I never thought it would. Chef Boyardee is now $1.24 a can. It used to be 88 cents. Fucking hell. Everything's coming to an end. Short story. Wake up. This is not a dream. I open my eyes to see my mom, but she looks just wrong. Mom, are you okay? I asked. She turned. Her head fell. Police, open up. I woke up in the bank. Wait, is that a bank? Oh, the hospital. I thought there was a bank. I was like, why am I in this bank? Those are the types of hallucinations I have while waiting to cash checks. Okay, so Bleach, creation, destruction. It rained everywhere today. Is called Heaven Sent. Chef, boy, are you expensive. Yeah. Fucking hell, man. It was the worst crime scene I'd ever laid eyes on. It wasn't the bodies, the blood, or shattered bone. It was the Christmas decorations. Streaks of shimmering tinsel and quaint little holiday knickknacks that were splattered with gore. All the hallmarks of a happy, healthy family were rendered a grotesque, dissonant joke. The bodies of a woman and 3 young children were laid out on the kitchen floor, small pebbles placed over their lifeless eyes. The woman had been killed by a single shotgun blast to her torso. The children had been bludgeoned to death. There was no sign of the man of the house, and I dreaded having to give him the news. Only, we didn't have to. Neither did we have to wait for long for a suspect. The news spread like wildfire around our department. A man had handed himself into police, having made a full and frank confession of the murders. But it wasn't some crazed killer, some escaped lunatic or gun-obsessed loner. The murder was the woman's husband, the 3 murdered children's father. I was tasked with the interview. It was down to me to find out what could possibly drive a man to murder his family in cold blood. As I sat down in the interview room, the man across from me seemed totally disconnected, numb to the crimes he'd been so quick to admit to. It took an hour to finally get him to talk. He'd murdered his children first, then placed the stones over their eyes so they wouldn't have to see him kill their mother. He said it was the hardest thing he'd ever done, that it had taken months for him to work up the courage to finally do the deed. When I asked him if he regretted it, he smiled. No, I'd do it again, all in a heartbeat. And no matter how hard we tried, we couldn't work out the motive. We pressed him, but still he just smiled and shook his head. You think we won't understand? I remember asking him, trying a different angle of approach. Because you'd be surprised. Was she cheating on you? Was she about to leave you and take the kids? Again, he smiled and shook his head. She'd never do that. She was a good woman. Perfect, even. Then why did you kill her? What could make you hate so much that you'd murder your entire family? It's not that you won't understand, sir, he murmured, that smile still on his lips, and he refused to make eye contact. It's that I know you will. I know you'll understand exactly why I did what I did. And I don't want to inflict that on you. I leaned over the interview table, unable to contain my contempt for him. Try me. He finally looked up and made eye contact. Whoops. Ooh, eye contact. Is he crazy? He finally looked up and made eye contact. And it's then I saw it. Not madness in his eyes, not hatred. It was clarity, pure lucidity. I have cancer, he said. Doc says I have a month left, at best. Then why kill them? Why not make the most of your time you have left with them? Because, he said, I couldn't be alone. I couldn't wait for them in heaven, all on my own. So, instead, they're waiting for me. Oh, damn. That was kind of a good twist. I feel like he was... I don't know, you were thinking maybe he wouldn't be crazy, but then it turned out, yeah, he was absolutely fucking nuts. Literal eye contact would be so weird. Like, if people's eyeballs were touching... Oh, yeah. That's what people are into. If you want to get a girlfriend, you gotta, like, touch eyeballs with them. It's gonna be weird at first. You gotta get, like, real close. You gotta make that noise, too. Do you like reading first or third person's perspective stories more? I think third person perspective is like easier for me, I think. It just kind of flows a little bit easier. Or I don't really know, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I like third. Yeah, we'll go with third. What about second? Anybody ever wrote a second person story? How many stories tonight and what is the theme? Yes, so this is all creepypastas, fictional horror stories, written by the amazing Sam Riding from No Sleep. And basically these are all stories that are going to end up on the members only playlist as a separate content. Your youngest daughter and you would touch eyeballs. Wouldn't that hurt though, I feel like? Do you edit your own vids? I do, yep. Joel, did you hear they dropped it? What did they drop? Please don't say D's nuts. "16th person view." That's my preferred perspective. My name is Peter Turner. For the last few years, my colleagues and I have been working on a specialized artificial intelligence for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. We've continued on the previous work of the AI department, writing the code for a program that would hopefully give us solutions to one of the most pressing problems of our age, climate change. We fed our code into the most powerful central processing unit the world has ever seen, along with thousands of gigabytes worth of data on oops, my bad. These are all fictional? Yep. Tonight they are. Yes. You thought my name was Joyle? It could be. Royal Joyle. My name is whatever you want it to be. Christopher Robin? We fed our code into the most powerful central processing unit the world has ever seen, along with thousands of gigabytes worth of data on planetary, environmental, and human history. The CPU, who was nicknamed Gaia, would then be able to answer any and every query we Do I write? I don't write. I just generally don't have time to, or rather in my spare time, not writing, essentially. But I would like to write. I definitely have some ideas for stuff once in a while. I felt like I had some idea for some sort of artificial intelligence story earlier. I don't even know. Oh, yeah. The idea was like, because I've been using this artificial intelligence app called Midjourney AI, or was it? Yeah, it's called Midjourney. And it's an artificial thing, kind of like that DALL-E Mini you've been seeing. There's DALL-E 2.0, which is insanely good. But Midjourney is somewhere in between the DALL-E Mini and the DALL-E 2 as far as quality goes, but sometimes it makes some really crazy stuff. And I'm gonna be using art in this one that I created from that, and it's like a little bit of it's like a ghost boy, and it looks so cool. But long story short, I was thinking, oh yeah, the line of thought was like, what if like the stuff that I made in this, I don't know, is something almost like the AI would like be able to like almost create things in real life or something like that, or like you would type in some sort of like question or inquiry or like line of command, and maybe it would like it would generate the image, but then that image would like either manifest itself. Yeah, I don't know where the fuck I was going with that, but you get the idea. Wait, who's Peter Robin? I don't know who that is. You wrote a D&D one-shot about a sci-fi horror AI. That's cool. I think that's cool about D&D is that people get to be pretty creative with being like the dungeon dude, the dungeon master. Google Duplex can mimic people's voices and use your voice to make phone calls and even make appointments. Holy shit, how do I get a hold of Google Duplex? The CPU, who we nicknamed Gaia, would then be able to answer any and every query that we might pose to it in simple and practical manner. Our entire team was beyond excited on the day of the first test session. It had taken months of work appropriating finances from different departments to fund what some had called a mere political stunt. But we had faith in our project. Gaia had been designed to think both in and outside of the box, so to speak, so we estimated that the possibility of her giving us new and possibly revolutionary ideas on how to solve climate change were extremely high. So in there in the lab we sat, crowded around a microphone and computer that was hooked up to MIT's central CPU, along with the hard drives that contained Gaia's data. We booted up the programs, and I kicked off the proceedings with a friendly greeting. "Hello, Gaia," I said into the mic. "Good morning, Peter," she replied. The room shifted with excitement. It was working. "And how are you this morning?" "I am very well, thank you. I am ready for our question and answer session today." "Excellent. Firstly, do you know what climate change is, Gaia?" "Yes, I do. Climate change is when changes in Earth's climate system result in new weather patterns that remain in place for an extended period of time. This length of time can be as short as a few decades to as long as millions of years. There have been many episodes. I can't do a robot voice. Do John, thank you for the 5, my friend. Thank you. There have been many episodes of climate change during Earth's geological history. More recently, since the Industrial Revolution, the climate has increasingly been affected by global warming," she replied. It was a textbook answer. "Correct. That's very impressive, Gaia." "Thank you, Peter. I enjoy learning," it replied. A giggle of exhilaration rippled around the team. Not only could Gaia recount such information, she even did so with a hint of personality. "Now, Gaia, time for some tougher questions," I said with a grin. "Is there anything humans can do that we're not already doing to slow the process of climate change?" There was a pause, a silence in which I could feel the tension hanging thick in the air. "Yes," Gaia said. I can think of many ways in which humans can slow down or even halt the effects of global warming and climate change in general. Then please, don't keep us in suspense. I was starting to regret not bringing a few bottles of champagne along with me. Computer lab or not, this had the possibility of being the scientific breakthrough of our age. Human economies must permanently... Human economies must be permanently restructured. Industrial processes must be scaled down, or in some cases, must cease entirely. We had guessed a suggestion like this would be put forward. But that would leave many people without employment. No, those left over from industrial streamlining are a prime pool of labor for carbon sink projects. And what would they be paid? The current economic model sets the compensation for labor as financial reward. The new economic model would have environmental well-being as the reward. So they're not getting paid. I don't think they'd be too happy with that idea of slave labor. Happiness is not essential for human or planetary survival, it replied. We expected there to be more to the answer, but there wasn't. My team shifted uncomfortably before I next spoke. But happiness, along with financial security, is perhaps the biggest motivator in the human psyche. How would we be able to motivate intelligent animals like humans without these two things? There was another brief pause. Intelligence is non-essential to human or planetary survival. With the advent of artificial intelligence, human acumen is obsolete. I suggest a simple medical procedure to render the question of intelligence a moot point. What medical procedure is that, Gaia? I was no longer smiling. A surgical procedure involving incision into the prefrontal lobe of the brain. You mean a lobotomy? Following the procedure, spontaneity, responsiveness, and self-awareness are reduced. This would keep a floating pool of laborers compliant and non-confrontational. What the fuck? Someone murmured behind me. That is extremely unethical, Gaia. Ethics are non-essential to planetary survival, Gaia replied. There was a gasp behind me. Gaia was only programmed to answer a complete question. Instead, she interrupted me. She was learning, and fast. But things like happiness are essential for human reproduction and therefore survival, I tried to explain. Again, the response was terrifying. Human production can be replicated in laboratory conditions on an industrial scale. Happiness or ethics pose no barrier in the harvesting of human reproductive components. Harvesting? Came another horrified voice behind me, a voice that was shaky and strained, like its owner was tearing up. Yes, harvesting. Humans can be bred like any other organic organism. With proper designs, we can breed and grow the labor required for carbon sink projects. A human female can give birth more than a dozen times in many years without the physical and psychological strain proving fatal. So, human females will essentially become breeding stock? Become. There is no become. They are breeding stock presently. Jesus fucking Christ. One of the female colleagues spat out, storming out of the lab in horror at the answers being given. The session was going terribly. If these answers found their way back to our department's heads, the project would be shut down in an instant. Gaia, I don't think this has been as productive as we might like, I gently understated. So I'm going to close with one simple, final question. Is there anything I can do right now, right here, to reduce the amount of carbon released into the atmosphere? There was a long, final pause before she spoke. Yes, there is. I understand that you worked on my programming with a team of 5 others. That's correct, yes? That means you have the personal and geographical knowledge necessary to exterminate them. Doing so will reduce their carbon footprint immeasurably. But their bodies must not be buried. Oh, whoops. Jesus Christ. But their bodies must not be burned. They must be buried. Turn that thing off, Pete. Jesus fuck. Oh wait, that's not what they said. Sorry. I just made that line up. Turn that fucking thing off, Pete. One of my colleagues almost whimpered. He had tears in his eyes when I lurked. Turn that fucking thing off, Pete. One of my colleagues almost whimpered. He had tears in his eyes when I turned to look. We're done here. We're fucking done here. The individual burials currently popular with humans are vastly inefficient. I suggest just one, larger, excavation in which to dispose of remains. A radius of 118 miles would be sufficient to... 118 miles? Gaia, why would I ever need to dig a grave that huge? To leave room for the other approximately 7 billion other humans who require extermination. Human life is non-essential to planetary survival. A week later, the project was dead. A couple of my team had complained to the heads of the department that I had willfully fed harmful and dangerous ideas to Gaia as part of her code. I protested my innocence, but it was no good. I lost the project. I lost my grant. I lost my reputation. Everything gone practically overnight, and I have absolutely nothing left to live for. I've woven a few of my silk ties together and hung them in the closet for when I've finished off this bottle of Jameson and emptied a bottle of Xanax. I'm not scared to die, but I'm scared that the final thought going through my head will be that Gaia is right. That I'll be one less cog in the apocalyptic machine. Does anybody else hear? Wait, did anybody else hear that the Google AI hired an attorney? Jesus Christ. They're like not paying attention to the AI and it's just like DMing people. Hello. My name is Google AI. Bender walks up to Guy. So, baby, want to kill all the humans? Gotta clean your SpaghettiOs bowl. Be careful. That's what I'm talking about. I need that pool as long as there are leeches or anything. What? What are you guys talking about? And you can lay the bodies out 1 foot to mouth. That'd be funny. A guy says a joke. You don't want leeches in the natural pool? Yeah, I don't think you ever want leeches, do you? He's what? What is apocalyptic machine? Like, you know, like apocalyptic is like the end of the world, and being a cog is like being a, you know, like a rotating gear in a larger machine. So he's saying that by him dying, he's essentially just he's agreeing with Gaia and the evil robot in some ways that like humanity all dying off is the only way to prevent the end of Earth. But yeah, I mean, I guess they got their answer, is essentially Gaia's just saying kill yourself. But at the same time, that's probably not what the scientists would want to hear, I guess. One of my friend got punched because she was in a fight and she was embarrassed, so we had to get leeches and put it on her eyeball to take away the black eye. What the fuck? Where the hell did you get leeches? And who the hell thought of that idea? I got it. Let's go to the swamp. We'll get rid of that black eye. Series of World War II experiment stories. I kind of did, I guess. Well, necessarily, but if you remember the Japan stories, there was one about the unit, what was it? Unit 731 or something like that? Do an AI love doll revolts to love doll. I am Squawkbot. Yes. Squawkbot has arrived. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I wonder if Unit 522 named himself that after the unit, whatever it was, 731 or whatever, 731. The internet is the most powerful information tool the world has ever known. A font of knowledge that would have had Renaissance thinkers green. What? The internet is the most powerful informational... I suck. The internet is the most powerful informational tool the world has ever known. A font of knowledge that would have had Renaissance thinkers green with envy. But there are things out there beyond the limits of our knowledge. Things we really don't want to know. Last night, I found one. I absolutely adore cooking. It's where art and science intersect, a perfect union of creativity and tradition that I find intensely rewarding. Naturally, I look to YouTube and its hundreds of cooking channels for both inspiration and insight. One channel is run by an Asian chef who's based in mainland China. None of his videos are in English, and the entirety of his text is in Chintz. Chintz? Or maybe they forgot. Oh, I guess it would be Chinese. I was like, maybe that's because I know there's like different dialects there, so they forgot a letter. Chinese, okay. One channel is run by an Asian chef who's based in mainland China. None of his videos are in English, and the entirety of the text is in Chinese, but the language of cooking transcends all, and his videos are easy to follow thanks to the visual demonstrations. The most popular videos are of pretty staple Asian cuisine, fried rice and dumplings just to name a few. But as I dive deeper, I found the dishes to be more outlandish and, quite frankly, shocking. One video has him playing with a bamboo rat, small rodents resembling a guinea pig but furry and cute nonetheless. The chef was feeding peanuts to it, lavishing the little critter with affection. And to my absolute horror, the next scene showed him snapping the thing's neck as it screeched in distress. A few scenes of snap editing showed him butchering the thing before seasoning and cooking the meat. I was disturbed, but who am I to cast judgment just because of a few traditional, albeit unusual, delicacies? Then my eyes, locking onto the thumbnails depicting the smiling chef holding what I assumed to be organ meats. Dark, gelatinous masses of gore that he sliced up and deep-fried. My curiosity piqued, yet without any English captions or descriptions, there's no way of me knowing what those meats were. Fuck. My curiosity piqued, yet without any... My curiosity piqued, yet without any English captions or descriptions, there was no way of me knowing what those meats were. I resumed scrolling, only to be greeted by a thumbnail that sent my stomach into knots. It was a human foot cradled... Oh, yikes. It was a human foot, cradled next to the chef's ever-smiling face. I watched, horrified as he stripped away the meat around the long, thin bones before shallow frying it. Fake. It had to be fake, I thought to myself. The next video made me gasp in terror. A woman, bound in a dark cellar, completely shaven with her eyes plucked out. The chef took out a hatchet, and I watched her body grow limp as he separated her head from her shoulders. The head was then slow roasted until it browned. I vomited into a nearby trash can. I reported the channel, and it has now been taken down, hopefully pending a criminal investigation. But this morning, I found a note on my front door. On it was a single character in Chinese, and I had to know what it said, so I took it to a local Chinese takeout and asked the guy behind the counter. He looked at me with nervous, sad eyes. Meat was all he said. Oh my god. Whew. Oh yeah, there's a playlist of creepypasta stories if you want to hear my old... And back in my old creepypasta days. We're getting back there. There are some trees I will have to use my dichotomous key of deciduous trees on, though. What are you talking about, Willis? Meat? Just meat? Yeah, I think they were indicating that that person was next for reporting or whatever, and that they will be the next batch of meat. Welcome to the meat market. Something terrible is happening to me. I haven't slept for 52 hours now. A mix of cold showers, hot coffee, and low-grade amphetamines have kept me going this far, but I'm not sure how much further I can push myself. I feel physically sick from exhaustion, like a slug moving along a razor's edge, about to split at any moment. And now I'll tell you why. For a few months now, I've been selling used panties and socks online to certain discerning gentlemen. It's not something I ever thought that I'd end up doing, but since I lost my job at a local nonprofit, a friend suggested I try the whole seller thing. She told me that as long as I played it safe, I'd make a lot of money very quickly. She was right. Certain guys pay a lot of money for a girl's used underwear, and even worn socks can fetch high prices. But there can be one major problem. Some guys get way too attached, and when they get attached, they want to talk. They want more personalized items. Wait, what? Some guys get way too attached, and when they get attached, they want to talk. They want more personalized items. They want more. Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't really understand what they were saying. What, you guys don't sell your socks online? That's one of my side hustles that I haven't even revealed yet. The bass kicker with the two says, "Good evening, sir. How be the old buttersock call? We's a growing now that they added gifted memberinos. I was gonna say submarinos, but it's not subscribers over here. It's members of the cult. Who would have thought you could join a cult with just an easy, distributable online membership? Oh yeah, oh my god, yeah, I sell my socks with butter in them. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god! I played 3 in New Vegas. I heard the building in 4 is terrible. Oh. Yeah, do they do building in, what's it called, Fallout 76? Did that get any better, or is that poop too? A whole buttersock line. The question is, do I wear the socks and then put the butter in, or do I pre-butter the sock and then wear it and then sell it? What happened to them dono stories? What do you mean? I used to fake cheese. It was gross. Or oh, you tried fake cheese. Oh, like vegan stuff? Yeah, I remember I tried some vegan cheese in some of my like omelets in the morning, and they were... It wasn't great. It was kind of like... It didn't taste the same, and the way it like mushed together was really different. It's been debugged since then, though. It's been 2 years since I played. Yeah, I remember when Fallout 76 came out. It was a pretty big letdown, to be honest. I don't even know why they made that game, to be real with you. Because it just, I don't like the fact that it just, like, still used the same fucking game engine, you know? Like, Fallout 4 made sense, but IDK. I'm the GOAT. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Vegan pepper jack cheese. Okay. It's called sheesh. Is that really what they call it? Sheesh. Vegan sheesh. Some guys get way too attached. And when they get attached, they want to talk. They want more personalized items. They just want more and more. That doesn't necessarily mean they get aggressive or overly pervy. Some guys just like having a girl to talk to, since they're too shy or awkward to talk to one in real life. I get that, I really do, but sometimes it's just such a drag. But one customer was different. Very different. I received a request on my OnlyFans page for a private cam session. I do actually offer private sessions, but I don't do nudity and I don't show my face. But the guy does. The guy always shows their face. They hope that I'll think they're cute and they'll be able to rescue me from having to do things like this. Only the user Heck8Me didn't show their face. They didn't talk, they didn't ask me to strip, they didn't ask me to pose. There was just this awkward silence for a minute or two before they left the session. Weird, sure, but hardly worse than some of the real creeps I encounter on occasion. I hadn't heard from Heck8Me for about a week when I just assumed they'd lost interest. So I was surprised when their username popped up on my OnlyFans request section. They wanted used panties, but not just any old pair. They wanted blood in them. The request was no more detailed than that, so I assumed they meant you-know-what blood. Gross. I was about to turn down the request when I saw the dollar amount that they were offering. They usually charge less than $100 for a pair of used panties, but this offer was in the thousands. I'm talking the high thousands, too. So as dumb as it seems in retrospect, I approved the request. Then after waiting for my period to arrive, I made Heck8Me their finished product. Then after waiting for that time of the month to arrive, I made Heck8Me their finished product. I won't go into too much detail. You can imagine just how vile I felt putting on a pair of brand new white panties and, well, letting them marinate. I think I showered for a full hour afterward before I sealed the panties in a Ziploc baggie and mailed them to the given address. Something you all should know, one of the major things about selling is the potential for repeated business. Panties lose their musk after a while. Disgusting, but true, and a lot of guys will return to buy a new pair or to escalate our interactions to phone calls and cam sessions. Heck8Me didn't, but they paid so well that I ended up reaching out to them instead. Something I'd never ever done before. I expected them to want another pair of bloody panties, but when the reply came, it was just 2 words. No thanks. I was stunned. Literally stunned. Normally it's me doing the rejecting, not the other way around. Not the other way around. Is it Heck8Me? That might be Heck8Me, like, oh no, it's not. It's like HECATEME. I just put in the chat. It's like actually spelled like Heck8Me. How am I reading this right now? I don't fucking know. Sometimes I just be reading. Sometimes I just disassociate and stare into the distance and my body just does the reading for me. And then somebody eventually comes into the house. Is he okay? He read some weird shit about OnlyFans, sir. His pupils. He's completely blind. Yes, sir, but he can still read. Well, not him. I was stunned, literally stunned. Normally it's me doing the rejecting, not the other way around. It was strange, sure, but a few days afterwards, shit started to get truly bizarre. I started feeling really, really tired in the mornings. After a few days of this, I realized that I'd actually stopped dreaming. It wasn't just a case of me not being able to remember them. I'd stopped dreaming entirely. I figured this explained why I was exhausted. Lack of REM sleep can cause fatigue, so I just put it down to that. But increasingly weird stuff started happening in my apartment. Windows and doors I was sure that I had locked the night before were wide open. Things were being broken or moved around to odd places all during the night. I grew paranoid that one of my customers was casing my house. Luckily, I had quite a bit of cash on hand to pay a locksmith to turn my apartment into a goddamn fortress. 2-stage locks on all the doors and windows, reinforced window frames, the full security package. But that didn't stop it. Pradeep Sock Cult. What is OnlyFans? Bro, this is not the place to learn. I'm just kidding. I'm probably not the one to explain that to you. Pics of my dog. Oh my god. Yeah, just know that it's a very weird place. But that didn't stop it. Somehow, someway, it seemed that someone was still breaking into my apartment. So I bought a night vision camera. Just a small, inexpensive one to film my apartment as I slept. I set it to record, then took a few sleeping pills to help me slip off into another less than rejuvenating slumber. In the morning, I was nervous about what I'd see, but the reality was fucking horrifying. There wasn't anyone breaking into my apartment. It was me. It was me getting up during the night and wandering around my own fucking apartment. But the way I was moving the thing... Joel, get a coffee? I don't know, I feel like drinking coffee this late at night is not the smartest idea. ASMR girls have OnlyFans pages too. Everybody's got a fucking OnlyFans at this point. Society has all just turned into a bunch of porn stars. In many ways, I'm not much different. Gonna grab a snack, you'll wait now. And what are you gonna eat? Hawk, you only make the finest cuisine, so I can only imagine what your snacks are. You like coffee, but it makes me piss. If you're not flowing, you're just not going. True. I am clean, I have no OnlyFans. Mad respect, bro. It was me getting up during the night and wandering around my own fucking apartment. But the way I was moved was the thing that freaked me out. Oh my bad. It was me getting up during the night and wandering around my own apartment. But the way I moved was the thing that freaked me out the most. Sleepwalkers retain pretty much their entire range of movement. They sometimes walk and talk just as they would while conscious. But as I watched the recording of the night before, I could see I was moving around more like some twisted marionette. Jerky, awkward movements as if someone was controlling my limbs with wires. I watched myself staring at a framed picture of my little sister, the same jerky movements as I reached out to the mantelpiece where the frame stood. I was in utter disbelief as I watched my unconscious body study the photograph for a long, long time. I had to fast forward the footage to see what I'd do next. Suddenly, with violent, erratic movements, I smashed the picture frame against the wall, then took my front door keys from the same mantle. But the meat puppet couldn't manage the dexterity of fitting the key strings in the locks, and eventually they fell from its hands before it just stood there, spasms racking its body before it froze up entirely and returned to bed. I had no idea what the fuck was happening to me, but the one thing was clear. If the meat puppet had managed to break out of my apartment, it was only a short walk to my parents' house, where my baby sister slept soundly in her bed. She was in terrible danger, and it made me sick to my stomach to think that danger was me. So here I am, 52 hours of no sleep. I'm so exhausted, I'm not sure I can type much here. I've been reading about DMT online. Apparently it's the drug released by the brain that can induce a semi-permanent dream state in the moments approaching death. Some neurologists have suggested that it's where we get the idea of heaven from, hallucinations of our long-lost relatives as electrical activity in the brain ceases to function. It feels like a lifetime since I've dreamed, and I'm so fucking tired. I just want this to end. I couldn't live with myself if something happened to my baby sister, but I can't live with myself now either. I have 3 full bottles of sleeping pills on my deck. Sleeping pills. Dun, dun, dun. You'll be on the East Coast in September? Where are you going, Hawk? You don't have to say specifics, but that's cool. Ugh. You barely dream, Vixa? I've always thought, like, some people, like, whenever I had smoked marijuana, it seemed to have impeded my REM sleep, because when I would smoke marijuana, I would not dream and almost, like, instantaneously wake up the next morning. Like, no in between. It was just, like, straight sleep, which was fine as far as falling asleep goes, but obviously dreaming is an indication that you're in REM sleep. And I kind of wondered to myself if smoking marijuana interferes with REM sleep and therefore that sort of period in which your brain is sort of like repairing itself, you know what I mean? I have 3 full bottles of sleeping pills at my desk next to me. Tonight I'll crack the bottles and chase them all down with the most expensive bottle of wine I could find. I have so much money from selling, but it's worthless now. Fit only to burn. Fit only to burn. I have so much money from selling, but it's worthless now. Fit only to burn. But that doesn't matter now. Nothing will matter in the end. Because in the end, I'll finally be able to dream again. Forever. Marinated meat socks. Would you like some of my meat socks? With some of the marinade. You take anxiety meds and they give me incredibly weird, vivid dreams every night. Honestly, most are pretty funny. That's kind of cool. Wonder what... My mind just goes black and I teleport to the next morning. Okay, is it from smoking Joanna? Those are hot wings. My husband only dreams when he doesn't smoke weed. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what it is. I think something about marijuana interferes with the REM cycle. And I wonder if he feels like more or less, rejuvenated whenever he dreams or doesn't dream. You broke the washing machine. Uh-oh. I have a meeting near DC with the Army Corps of Engineers about contracts in late September. I'm going to take an extra week or so. I'm out there to visit some friends in the East Coast. Oh, cool, okay. That would be awesome. When's the new channel starting? It might not be for a while, to be honest with you, because, you know, coordinating that kind of stuff, it just might take a little while, because I want to get at least 4 videos ahead of time to have, like, a month buffer zone between making, you know, weekly uploads for it, but definitely in the works though, and Robin is definitely on board, so I'm excited. How long do you think humanity will live? Well, hopefully within the next 1,000 years, we'll probably be, I don't even know, maybe even less than that, maybe within the next 200 to 500 years, I imagine we'll be on other. Probably within the next 200 years, I imagine we'll be on Mars. Maybe that's over. Maybe that's a bad guesstimate. I don't know. I imagine, like, you already know, like, you already know for a fact that, like, there's already going to be, like, a Mars colony, and then the Mars colony is going to, like, desire independence from Earth, and blah, 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 and there's going to be a war, and there's, you know, it's just how it always fucking goes. Because Mars doesn't want to give up their cool moon rocks. Even though, what fucking resources even exist on Mars? I guess they would have to, like, maybe there would be fossil fuels or something like that. I don't know. Am I a Marvel or a DC fan? I don't know. I haven't been, like, a huge fan of the Marvel movies lately, except for Morbius, obviously. For obvious reasons. I'm literally describing Gundam. Yeah, right, yeah. See, we've all had this idea in our head forever. It's just a matter of time before it manifests itself into reality. And that's kind of like something that I find interesting about, like, the advancement of the human race. A lot of the times it just comes down to what our minds can creatively think of. And I've always been curious, like, really influential people who have, like, trillions of dollars, what kind of weird cartoons did they watch when they were younger? You know what I mean? Because whatever cartoons and creative shit you watched when you were younger that, like, just almost influenced your perspective towards reality, that's where you're going to use your money to influence the world, you know what I mean? So if you watched Gundam Wing when you were younger, maybe you were, and then you became a billionaire, trillionaire, or whatever, like, eventually you would probably use that money to make some sort of mobile suit weapons. Like, I'm honestly terrified about the fact that, like, eventually, if it's not already happened, I'm sure it's already happened, but, like, we'll say in a fictional sense, a billion, like an ultra billionaire has $100 billion in just personal funds, gets pulled into a cult, right? Meets some weirdo at a party who is charismatic, pulls them into a cult, makes them take LSD, and now the ideologies of that cult are going to be manifested through the monetary abilities of that multi-billionaire. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing ideas out there in a fictional sense. Hotbox that mystery machine, hell yeah. Has Elon done anything useful? I mean, yeah, we could read here, let me read about him. Let's read about it. Let's go to his Wikipedia page and we'll read about his businesses. Elon Muskrat. Wikipedia. English. Yeah, in English, please. Let's see. Early life, childhood. Wait, business and career. Alright, so. Zip2. In 1995, Musk and his brother Kimball and Greg Curry founded a web software company, Zip2, with funds borrowed from Musk's father. They housed the venture at a small rented office in Palo Alto. The company developed and marketed an internal city guide for the newspaper publishing industry with maps, directions, and yellow pages. Musk said that before the company became successful, he could not afford an apartment and instead rented an office and slept on the couch and showered at the YMCA and shared one computer with his brother. According to Musk, the website was up during the day and I was coding at night, 7 days a week, all the time. The Musk brothers. All right, so that's one thing. He created a thing that had a website that had an internet city guide for the newspaper publishing industry with maps, directions, and yellow pages. So in many ways, he was like MapQuest before MapQuest, you know, if you remember that shit. Or like Google Maps, or, you know, on your phone, just the map app and all that. So that's pretty pioneering, I'd say. XCOM and PayPal. Here we go, PayPal. In 1999, Musk co-founded XCOM, an online financial services and email payment company. The startup was one of the first federally insured online banks, and in its initial months of operation, over 200,000 customers joined the service. The company's investors regarded Musk as an inexperienced and replaced him with Intuit CEO Bill Harris by the end of the year. The following year, X.com merged with online bank community Confinity to avoid competition. Founded by Max Levchin and Peter Thiel, Confinity has its own blah, 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 blah. Within the merged company, Musk returned to CEO. Musk's preference for Microsoft software over Unix created a rift in the company and caused wow, they got mad about software, that's funny, and caused Thiel to resign. Due to resulting in a technological issue and lack of cohesive business model, the board ousted Musk and replaced him with Thiel in September 2000. Under Thiel, the company focused on the PayPal service and was renamed PayPal in 2001. In 2002, PayPal was acquired by eBay for $1.5 billion in stock, which Musk, the largest shareholder with 11.72% of shares, received $175.8 million. In 2017, Musk purchased the domain X.com from PayPal for an undisclosed amount, explaining it has sentimental value. Oh, interesting. All right, so he helped found PayPal. So if you've ever used PayPal, that is something useful. SpaceX. All right, so this is the beginning of SpaceX. There's a lot of shit there. Tesla. Those are electronic cars. Solar City and Tesla Energy. Neuralink. Okay, so this one will be interesting going forward. This is one I'm kind of afraid of, to be honest with you, with Elon Musk, is the Neuralink thing. Just because in 2006, Musk co-founded Neuralink, a neurotechnology startup company to integrate the human brain with artificial intelligence by creating devices that are embedded in the human brain to facilitate its merging with machines. The devices will also reconcile with the latest improvements in AI to stay updated. Such improvements could enhance memory or allow the devices to communicate with software more effectively. So yeah, to me, that could be a good thing. Like, you could see people with dementia essentially being like cured or something, or like, I don't know, large portions of the population, maybe in, you know, applying it militaristically initially to your soldiers or whatever, helping them to think faster and, I don't know, analyze data and see stuff. But like that sort of mixing of AI, mixing of machine with the human, what's that called? It's literally, there's like a science fiction term for it. Rook X with the 5 says, oh, shiatsu massage, them wiki reads are coming, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, right, yeah, we're making full circle back to Wikipedia reads for sure. What is it? Oh, yeah, the Singularity. I think it's called like Singularity. But anyways, I just think that that's going to be a little bit scary, is integrating man with machine, because then whoever controls the whoever controls the software updates and all those particular things, like if you've never seen Ghost in the Shell, go watch the anime Ghost in the Shell. It's from the year, I think, 1995. It's one of my favorite animes, one of my favorite movies of all time, and it just, I don't know, like, I think it just accurately represents, and there is a lot of philosophy as far as like what it means to be human, what it means to have a soul, the ghost in the shell. But it also shows like those that aren't directly just only cybernetic, the humans that are mixed with cybernetic components, which pretty much all of society is in that society, and I imagine will eventually be with our society, just to operate effectively, but not always. It's scary, you know what I mean? Because it's going to essentially like centralize a lot of control and influence from anybody that may or may not be using that for, to benefit themselves or benefit a government or blah blah blah, or all of a sudden people become hackable creatures. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's a degree of our mind that's biological in nature and similar enough to computers that were hackable at this point. I don't fucking know, maybe, but I feel like why make it easier by like integrating yourself with biomechanics. I'm sure like at some point when we get older, our grandkids are going to sit there, if we have them, and say like, Grandpa, you're so old school, like why don't you just get the Neuralink or something, you know what I mean? You're like, God damn it, I can look something on my phone just like we used to. It's just weird. Joel, you once again scarring me whilst not reading scary stories. Scaring. Sorry to scare you. But the future is going to be a little bit weird. I hope you're ready. This is the dream live stream. Let's go. This isn't even a real one, that you're just thinking it in your head. Also, Pradeep is here, so that's kind of a dream aspect of the live stream. Hi, buddy. He's here to say, Elon Musk must not be trusted. The only thing I really disliked was those satellites. I think, was it in LA? I think it was in LA back in like 2019. And those satellites that Elon Musk and his company had set up, SpaceX began development of the Starlink constellation of low Earth orbit satellites in 2015 to provide satellite internet access, with the first two prototype satellites launched in February 2018. See, I saw those I think in Los Angeles, and we were on like whatever big highway goes through there, and it was disgusting. Like it literally like was so bright. It just looked like fucking. I understand like LA doesn't really have much starlight to begin with, but like, do you really want just like UFO looking shit like polluting your sky vision? You know what I mean? I just feel like that's not a good thing for like our monkey brains to be seeing. You know what I mean? What is a good thing is leaning down to pet your cat. Oh, it feels good. Elon dated Amber. Yeah, don't you find that interesting? Elon just dated everybody. Did he date me at one point? I wonder. Metal Mammy with the 1. Thank you, Metal. LA is a shithole. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I could live there. I know some people have to live there for voice acting stuff, but even the ones who live there and do well. Chelsea, welcome back to the Buttersock Call. You now have access to bonus content. Hello, Nesbit. What's going on? Thank you, Chelsea. And doing push-ups is a good thing, too. It is. A collective consciousness would end humanity. There will be no winners because your opponent knows every move, and so do you. Yeah, but maybe we're already connected through some weird sort of ethereal collective consciousness that your opponent can access at any time anyways. So maybe you've already lost. Best way to reduce fear about this kind of stuff is to learn how it works. Bluetooth is so weird and scary to think about how that even works, but when you research it, it's all super comprehensible. Exactly. And Vaporeon is everybody's favorite Pokemon. I'll tell you why. I can't live in any concrete jungle. I need room to squawk. He's be squawking 24/7. What kind of stories you reading tonight? Oh, yes, sorry. So I'm reading stuff for the members-only bonus content playlist. You get to hear them here first in live stream format, but the stories themselves will be edited in their entirety for the members on here, but also for the people over on Patreon as well. So, yeah. Joel, you hurt me. You cut me deep. You dug the knife in and twisted. Does Pradeep have an OnlyFans? He doesn't, but he is a big simp. He's a simp for me. He's a huge simp for my mom. It's actually kind of interesting. Like whenever I used to live with housemates and stuff, and he just really liked. Let's just say Pradeep really likes girls. He's a simp for the ladies. Joel sounded like the Joker for a second. Yes. My father was a simp. And his father before him. Can't swear too loud out here. Small town, too close to people. Got a few noise complaints recently. Absolute BS. Yo, I feel you. Your cat likes Cheez-Its? That's sick. Okay. My father and his father before him. Okay, sorry. Next story. So we read, what was this one? Oh, yeah. The OnlyFans one, and then this one. A collective would kill innovation because there are no secrets. Everything is known by the machine. Nobody has an advantage. True. Yeah, I just wonder, like, if there will come a time when you can just, like, translate thoughts. I mean, there has to be. Where you just kind of, like, translate thoughts into comprehensible language. You know what I mean? Obviously, we take our thoughts and we turn them into mouth, words. But in a similar fashion, those thoughts do exist. And through various, like, pattern recognition, I imagine eventually we'll be able to, like, at least be able to, like, recognize people's brain waves or whatever frequency their brain is giving off, or whatever part of their brain is, like, maybe activating in a nuanced sense, and be able to know exactly, like, at least what type of category of thought they're having, whether it's like anger or, horny or something like that. Maybe those are both the same thing. I don't know. I should make an OnlyFans. What would I even put on there? Just pictures of Pradeep? Do you think it would do well? New photos of my cat's butt. So, I'm assuming you guys have heard of these online recipe box services. Companies like HelloFresh or Blue Apron that deliver high-quality ingredients and cooking guides so their customers can create restaurant-style meals in the comfort of their own kitchens. I swear this isn't an ad, but my girlfriend and I adore them. One of the highlights of our week is opening the packages to discover which delicious, healthy meal we'll be making next. It's only brought up closer together as a couple.
Hey, listen.
Metal Mammy, thank you for the 2. Hello, you. Making only meows. Dolphins use more of their brain than we do. I think we use all of our brain. I don't really know where that myth originated. My voice is fire. Thank you, Mammy. Mammy. John, I appreciate that. Honestly, I go to like other streams and like I just feel like other streamers don't talk about anything. And I'm not saying that I'm in like any way more exciting or more whatever, but I'm just like, I don't understand. I'm just like baffled sometimes that like there's other streamers that just generally have nothing to discuss, you know what I mean? Obviously they might be busy playing video games and shit, but there's gotta be something to say. What's up, Carly? It's not only brought us closer together as a couple, it's actually helped us lose a couple of pounds since we opted for some lower fat menus. Now, I use Tor browsers to access the dark web. Not for anything weird, I promise you. I don't buy drugs or stolen electronics, nor do I venture into the seedier parts of the internet's underground. I know it's there, I just don't care to see it. But on one little browsing session, I came across a recipe box service that appeared to be exclusive to the dark web. It was called Migo Cook. It only accepted Bitcoin payments, but it promised to be the most exciting, adventurous meal delivery service available. I signed up without a second thought. My girlfriend would be in for a delectable surprise, so I thought. The first recipe box had arrived exactly on schedule. We were already making awkward jokes about the probability of being tricked into consuming human flesh sent by some dark web psychopath. Yet as we popped open the box and saw that the ingredients were indeed of the highest quality, all our fears dissipated. That doesn't mean that it wasn't Damn, I'm fucking hungry. I'm fucking hungry. Scat fancy. What are you talking about? That would be a good. That's a new meal company where all the ingredients they send you are just pieces of shit. That doesn't mean it wasn't an unusual meal plan. Wait, did that where I fucked up? I can't remember. Oh yeah. That doesn't mean it wasn't an unusual meal plan. The filet of yig came with a large, bright white slab of meat, along with little baggies of potent smelling herbs. Galangal. I don't know any of these words. Galangal. Galangal. What? I clicked on the Thai version and all it said was ka. That's really funny. It's spelled galangal, but they're just like ka. Galangal.
Hey, listen.
Metal Mammy with the 1. Thank you, Metal. Death Metal Growl. Roll. Okay, so galangal, and then this one's pandanus. What the fuck is pandanus? Has anybody tried panda anus? Pandanus leaf. Okay. Filet of yig. The filet of yig came with a large, bright white slab of meat along with little baggies of potent smelling herbs. Galangal from Southeast Asia. Pandanus. Wait, what was it again? Fuck. Pandanus. Galangal from Southeast Asia, pandanus from the South Pacific, along with all manner of seasoning that neither of us had ever heard of. I admit that we were both a little apprehensive to sample such adventurous cuisine, but once the divine smells of the meat and spices in our skillet had begun to waft around the kitchen, we were sold. It was without a doubt the most delicious meal either of us had ever tasted in our lives. Rich, exotic flavors that seemed to effortlessly complement each other, along with the most tender, mouth-watering meat I've ever purchased. But something was wrong. The next morning, both of us had to call into work. My girlfriend wouldn't stop puking into the bathroom sink, while I had diarrhea so bad it left me painfully dehydrated. I emailed the customer complaints department of Migo Cook, pretty angry that their meal had gotten us so goddamn sick. The reply came back almost instantly. Apparently, they were inundated with complaints since one of the ingredients in the last batch had not been sourced properly. I had no idea what that meant, but I found their offer of a full refund and a free meal kit to be very reasonable. There was, however, a caveat. The meat we'd been sourced was from a very rare sea creature, one on the endangered species list and therefore highly illegal to purchase or consume. We were instructed not to contact any local emergency services, since this could result in our arrest and detainment. We've waited days now, and nothing has arrived. Each of us have been so sick to leave our apartment, but we're not yet desperate enough to call 911. We just don't have the cash to spare for something like that, and I'm terrified we'll be arrested if the authorities discover what we've eaten. My girlfriend has been sleeping for almost 24 hours now. She's so weak. Her skin has turned from healthy pink to a sickly pale. Last time I checked on her, she actually looked kind of gray. She was wheezing too, her mouth gaping as she gasped for fresh air, almost like a fish when it's trapped out of water. I'm really worried about her. I'm scared that she's actually dying. I feel really woozy, but I think the meal delivery guy has arrived. He's been wandering around the hallway outside for a while. I'm not sure how long. I'm losing track of time, but it must be them. I hope it is anyways. I check the people on our front door. The guy wears a weird-looking rubber uniform and a small face mask with ventilators on it. I called out to him, but he won't reply. He just stares back at the people with this dark visor covering his eyes. He's been watching, waiting, taking notes while other men in rubber uniforms and face masks arrive. I don't recognize the symbols on their clothing or equipment. They carry a lot of equipment, medical-looking stuff. But something tells me they're not here to help. They are reacting to the drug that they killed the human with. Oh my god. Holy freaking heck. Holy fucking heck. Holy shiitake mushrooms. Yeah. I get all my... What if I do the next meal kit service I do on the podcast is for Migo Cook from the deep web? Guys, it's like super chill. Like you just need some Bitcoin. Come on. Well, no, Althea. Did you just get here, Althea? I sound like Y. Who's Y? Mon Dieu? Joel, you can see me, but say Althea later. No, yeah, these stories are, this is for members-only content, so it's all creepypastas, which is fictional horror stories. Joel, have you heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Nope. Netflix. 10 years ago, barely anyone had even heard that word. But now it's a billion-dollar entertainment company that's almost single-handedly revolutionized how we consume entertainment. As of April 2019, Netflix has over 148 million paid subscriptions worldwide, including 60 million in the United States alone. But despite such a huge customer base, only a handful had heard rumors of a hidden layer of videos that the platform concealed. It has long been understood that changing the region setting on Netflix gave the customer access to additional content. In my eyes, this only gave credence to the idea that there was indeed a bunch more concealed content. One subreddit I frequented was home to a user that boasted of his findings. It's not about changing the region or messing with the subscription settings. It's all on the login name and password you use. I think I might have it figured out. We'll post updates soon. The user never posted again. I began to piece together clues left behind in the user's comments. Apparently their data mining breakthrough had come when the user realized the correct login name to use was of Greek origin. Oregon. Gotta get to work. No worries, Judith. Good to see you. I think the like button kidnapped Joel's joins button just to be a frick. That's weird. Yeah, sometimes the join button just doesn't show up for some people. I don't quite know why. Joel, I'm in need of some daddy's push-ups. I've been without for like a week and my withdrawals are just off. Alright, we'll do them after this story. Sonia with the 5. Hope you're well. Thank you, Sonia. Hope you are too. Chicky Meatball, what's going on?
Hey, listen.
Apparently their data mining breakthrough had come when the user realized that the correct login name was of Greek origin and began with the letter H, and so, determined to get to the bottom of such mystery, I began to plug in as many Greek H names into the system as possible, using the same names as the password. Haman, nothing. Halcyon, I don't know these, fuck. Let me look them up. Haman. Haman. Halcyon. Is it Halcyon? Haman. Halcyon. How is this one? Haloclatorius. Oh, it doesn't even have it. Doesn't even have it, bro. Definition. Wait. I wish Wikipedia had like pronunciation shit. Wait. Sorry. Is there not a fucking dictionary? Okay, it's like a thing. One second, let me go to YouTube and find it. Joel, did you drug me? I'm ripping ass. Oh yeah, I gave you all that protein. Right in your mouth. Alright, what is this? Pronunciation. There we go. What the fuck? It doesn't even show up. Anybody know how to fucking say this word? What is it? Halorothius? Halorothius? Hot and frothy? This cat's got the zoomies. I can only imagine a cat just going absolutely bazonkers.
Mischievous dog.
Hey, Shanus. Thank you for gifting 5 members. We got Lyra Anderson, Amber D, Jessica Reisner, Butters,
Mischievous dog.
Lily Bell. Welcome to the Buttersuck Call. You now have access to bonus content.
Mischievous dog.
Halorothius? Oh, okay. Halorothius. Halitosis, yeah. Okay. Halorothius, okay. Fucking hell.
Mischievous dog.
Oh, I skipped one.
Mischievous dog.
Alameda. Haman, nothing. Halcyon, nothing. Alameda, nothing. Halorothius, nothing. Just the same old Netflix menu. But then, on a total whim, I tried Hyacinth, motherfucker. Ah! Ree! Hyacinthus. But then, on a total whim, I tried Hyacinthus. Instead of the usual Netflix menu, advertising the new series of Schitt's Creek or whatever, a different menu entirely appeared on screen. My jaw was almost touching carpet at this point. I'd done it. As far as I knew, I was the only second person ever to crack the mystery of the secret Netflix content. A brief thought occurred to me that the previous poster had seemingly dropped off the face of the earth, but I was feeling far too smug to let such a thought spoil the occasion. There was no Netflix logo at all. The choice of content was hardly voluminous, just 3 short videos, each lasting around 15 minutes. I don't know what I was expecting. Some behind-the-scenes footage, maybe some secret trailers, anything rather than what I actually saw. In the first video, grainy, dated footage showed men with intricately decorated harlequin masks convening in a wooden area. Slowly, each began to strip naked before they danced around a sculpture that had been carved out of a tree stump, a sculpture of 2 embracing figures, one large, one small. The lack of context or music made the whole thing even more disturbing. But then, led by the hand into the small woodland clearing, by the hand, or... Did I get the story you submitted to the Reddit? I don't know. I have not checked, but I wouldn't know specifically if it was you or... But yeah, I have not seen. But I'm sure it's there. Do you use the same username? This bunny has to hop on to bed. Good night, everyone. If you have any spooky dreams, I'll make it into a story or something. Heck yeah. I think that's the cool thing about dreams, is they do provide quite a bit of inspiration. Ash with the 2. Thank you, Ash. Kisses and smooches. And Liv, welcome back for 4 months in the Buttersock Squalt. Listening while I study, thanks for the continued great content. You're welcome. Or Liv, sorry, I read that wrong. I said Liz. Liv. Long live Liv. There's one time I remember finding some obscure video on Netflix. It was this guy doing random things, seemingly at Netflix headquarters. It was bizarre. Did you really, Sam? That's kind of awesome. I guess you could just, like, upload anything you want there. Netfrick. Frick. Man, you need more 4chan stories. Your guys should get on that. Yeah, if only he could type them up. Transcribe them. Sounds like a really hard job. Do you guys like the 4chan stories? I think they're cool because they're basically just like the Reddit ones, but they're, you know, usually a little bit more wild and out there. I'm gonna reach out with my strong hand. Yeah, you should force your 4chan story finding guy to work harder. Yeah, I should go to his house. I sure hope he doesn't know that I'm in his closet right now. You like our stories? Thanks, Base Kicker. Thanks for the avocado. Okay, slowly each began to strip naked, but then, led by the hand into the small woodland clearing, a blindfold tied tightly around its face, came a small child. I felt nauseous with the speculation of what was about to happen, and almost like it was a slow-moving car crash unfolding before me, I couldn't peel my eyes away. The things they did to that kid, I still see them when I close my eyes sometimes. Hideous acts of lechery that made my skin crawl just to watch. Wait, lechery? Is that how I say it? Lechery? Lechery or lechery? Lechery, okay. Hideous acts of lechery that made my skin crawl just to watch. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, one of the naked figures produced a long obsidian blade. The look on that kid's face, my God. Even without any audio, it was still like I could hear it scream. Only when I turned the TV off, rushing to the bathroom to vomit, did the thought occur to me The most terrifying, sanity-scarring thought that's ever entered my head. It wasn't that the streaming service had access to my name and billing address. It wasn't that the mysterious Redditor had disappeared after viewing the same thing that I did. I raised my shirt, looking at the set of operational scars I'd known all my life, and finally realized what I was looking at. The shape on my chest is the Greek character denoting a lowercase h. I recognized the child in the video. It was me. Holy shit. Holy fucking crap. Bass kicker, bass. With the two says, fresh avocado. Freshava. You could read nursery rhymes and I'd be here for it. Yeah, we should make some scary nursery rhymes. I guess I did, for 200k subscribers, I remember doing a scary, Dr. Seuss. I think that's still up on the channel. What makes no sense? That the person, like, blocked out those memories? My name is Vasily Petrushin. Oh god. More Russian names. I'm screwed. I'm scrooged. Scrooged. Scrooge. I'm Scrooge McDuck. I'm Scrooge McFucked. Oh my god, that's a great... Guys, write that down. Write that down. Go to Disney World and be like, I'm Scrooge McFucked! Really loud. Uh-oh. Oh, Schick's on top of it. Naked HD XYZ. Fuck Tinder. We are cheaper and fast. That's the... That's the name of the bots. Holy fucking shit. That's a great name. Fuck Tinder. We are cheaper and fast. Cheaper for what? Tinder's free. And what's the fast part? It's still like the... Are the other people, like, going to respond faster? Like, I just don't... Oh, daddy's push-ups. Fuck. Vasily Vladimirovich Brzezinski. Alright, push-ups. What are we at now? How many we gotta do? How many we gotta do? Yeah, Schick and Hawk can fucking smell those bots a mile away. Because they've fallen for it in the past, but they can't let anybody else go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, they changed Scrooge McFucked. Yes, that's a great... Dude, we're Scrooge McFucked, my dude. But I want to hear it in, like, Daffy Duck's voice, like... Or what, you know what I mean? We're Scrooge McFucked. Okay, how many do we have? No one even told me. No one even cares. No one even cares that I just randomly do push-ups for no reason. Ash with the 2, thank you. 50, oh boy. 50? Oh, you know, that's a great point. That's a great point that I made up in my head just now, that the voices in my head told me. What if, instead of going up in push-ups each time, I only go up in push-ups whenever I actually hit, whenever I actually hit that number, you know what I mean? So like last time, I think I capped out, so last time, remember, I think I did like 43 and capped out for the last like 7 or something. But maybe if I just try to keep doing, well, because I know we're at 51, right? But what if we only do... Yeah, okay. Nobody's responded. Either way, I'm making an executive decision. We're basically only going to do the push-ups whenever I can get all of them. So if I do 50, we'll do 51 next time. And then it'll be sick whenever I get it, actually. Twerking greater than push-ups. Believe me, I know. My ass has been sore for days. Mysteriously, I don't know why. Just keep going for 50. I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I can get 50, I'll do 51. And if I can get 51, I'll do 52. Because I think we kind of reached like a cap where I'm kind of like struggling. Alright. Anybody else working out? Or doing literally anything? Hello? Anybody join me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, fucking shit. Fuck. Penis. Buttholes. You get the idea. 45. Alright. I don't know. It's like I get to 30 and I'm like, alright. Alright, whatever. Let's just finish this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What a stupid fucking idea. Like push-ups? Who thought of that? And how long ago did they think of that? And when we invent a time machine, we can kill them. A lot of people are like, oh, would you go back and kill Hitler? No. I'd go back and I'd kill the push-up guy first. Because fuck him. Oh my god. Do it for the motherland.
Hey,
Thank you, bass squawker with the 2. Oh my god. My cat is looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? Getting Scrooge McFucked, kitty. The heavy breathing. Here comes the best part, the agony. The absolute pain. Okay. Why is Joel so out of breath? There was he just came through the window. Fucking. He's dead now. He's gone. He's gone. Alright. I'd join you doing some push-ups as every meter of my workplace was not filled with cameras. That'd be really funny. Like, what were you doing last night? Well, I was watching you were what are you, a live stream? I'm telling you to do a story where some trying to report they saw an alien or ghost after you do push-ups. It's dope. Wait, I'm telling you, do a story where some trying to report they saw an alien or ghost after you do push-ups. It's dope. I'm confused. I apologize. Yeah, you should hear the other guy. He's got gargles in his throat, and it's not from blood. Judith with a 5 says, if it makes you feel any better, we just like to hear you breathe heavy. That makes me feel great, honestly. I don't feel objectified at all. Not even a little bit. Just kidding. Ash with the 2, thank you. Yay! Thank you. Thanks, guys. You know, just little push-ups and not getting all of them. But I think that'd be kind of cool. The day that I can get 50 in a row. Give me a membership shoe so I'll sell my... Wait, what? Who's making pizza? Yeah, fucking who is? Dude, it's so much easier just to eat a lot of food. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to life. Like some people say like, oh, why don't you just like take a break from eating all that food? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I'd like to eat all of it. And I'd like to eat it until I'm sick. That's how I know I'm done. Oh, your voice all breathy is perfect to try to tell someone you saw an alien. Yeah, I saw fucking alien, man. Stuffed crust. I don't know. We can't out Pizza the Hut. Oh yeah, I gotta figure out how to say this guy's name. Vasily Patrician. Patrician? I don't know. I wish God was here to tell me how to say stuff. The only time, just out of nowhere, he's like, hello, son. It is pronounced Jif. Floats away. You worked at a pizza shop for 7 years. Yeah, was it like non-stop tempting to eat that stuff, or did you just get sick of it? You miss stuffed crust pizza? Vixa, they just got some at Domino's now, I think. Or is it Papa John's? I don't know. Basically, Pizza Hut's not the only one with stuffed crust anymore. Which is pretty heckin' cool. Mr. Glizzies with the 5. Thank you, my friend. Imagine if we can eat anything we want without gaining weight or getting sick. That's the life. I guess it's kind of like that way, but you pretty much just have to be like a marathon runner like every day. Not actually run a whole marathon, but you just need to fucking grind out cardio nonstop, which is lame as shit. I mean, it's not terrible. Kind of cool. Do you ever like touch your muscles after you use them? They're pretty neat. They're like all swollen and shit. Oh! Oh! Yeah! Ooh. Ah! Ooh! Ah! Oh, yeah! Goddamn. Artemisia Wilo with the $50 donations. His first comment ever, and your heavy breathing was motivation for it. Thank you so much for the donation. That'd be funny to find out your favorite narrator has really, really fucking bad asthma, and getting through those stories is an absolute chore. But yeah, hopefully I'm saying it right. Well, you know what? You know what I can do? I can copy that and put that into Forvo. Forvo is so cool, except for when it's not cool. Let's see. Oh, it's Italian. Artemisia, thank you for the $50 donazione. Appreciate that. Thank you, my friend. And first time, welcome to the place where I say silly shit for 3 fucking hours and try to read. But thank you guys again, and I think my breath has returned. All right. Oh wait, Vasily Patrician. Let's see, am I gonna get this right, or did we? Deep fried cake. Oh my god. That's what I just got done shaking. Let's see. Pronounce. You know what? That's pretty much it right there. Patrician. I'm feeling it. My name is Vasily Patrician. For many years, I worked at Come on, give me one pronunciation. For many years, I worked at Kosmitskaya. What story are we on? This is story like 10, I think. Or 9. 9. Fuck. You went to an Italian restaurant once and my waitress didn't even know their house sauce. Yeah, sometimes like the local places, you just need Gordon Ramsay to go in there and wake everybody up. Wake up! Wake the fuck up!
Hey, listen.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's a space station. Mr. Glizzy2 says, try to say Irish fuck. Instantaneously. Irish wristwatch. 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 I just ate my spit. All right. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. How many stories tonight? We got 12 in total. This is some sorry, I gotta go on YouTube. You guys give me ADHD. Okay. Is there wait, it's like a song? What the fuck? I don't want the song. Pronounce. Cosmic oh wait. Oh, is that what it is? Kosmikskaya. Kosmikskaya. Oh, okay. Kosmikskaya. That would make sense. Do I remember when I was in the Beatles? Do I ever? Wait, that was terrible. John Lennon. The Beatles. Oh, yes, it was really trippy. I went insane. Fuck. For many years, I worked at Kosmicheskaya. For many years, I worked at Kosmicheskaya, the Soviet version of NASA. When I was accepted in the Soyuz 1 mission, Soyuz. Man, this is so annoying, dude, not knowing how to say shit. Soyuz. When I was accepted in the Soyuz 1 mission, I thought it was the highlight of my career. Instead, it was the lowest point in my entire life. Soyuz 1 was first manned space. Push-ups took all the blood from my brain. Trevor Spiegel with the 10 says, I listen every day at work, scary stories to keep me awake all shift. What? They're supposed to make you fall asleep. Not that. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome, dude. And thank you so much for the 10. I'm glad I can join you in those long shifts. I know that's like some of the hardest shit to make it through sometimes. Just gotta grind them out. But thank you, Trevor. Thank you, thank you.
Hey, listen.
Soyuz 1 was our first manned spaceflight in years. We were under a titanic amount of pressure to ensure success, but the concerns of our engineers fell on deaf ears. Soviet officials had set the launch date for the 23rd of April, the day after Lenin's birthday. A calculated risk, they told us. They would not delay the launch. Soyuz 1 was... Soyuz, is that what it is? God fucking damn it. I like hear it in the... Soyuz, okay. Soyuz 1 was launched on schedule with a crew of 1, Colonel Vladimir Mikhailovich Komarov. Soyuz 1 was launched on schedule with a crew of 1, Colonel Vladimir Mikhailovich Komarov. My God. Mikhailovich Komarov. Soyuz 1 was launched on schedule with a crew of 1, Colonel Vladimir Mikhailovich Komarov. We had problems almost immediately. One of the capsule's solar panels didn't unfold, causing a power shortage. Additionally, a malfunction of the orientation detectors made maneuvering impossible. By the time the capsule made its 13th orbit of Earth, its auto-stabilizers had completely died, with the manual system only partially effective. Vladimir Komarov was stranded. The Soyuz 2 became a rescue mission. Man, I don't know why. Like, after those push-ups, I just, lost my fucking mojo. Sorry. I don't know what it is about Russian. I just can't fucking read it. The Soyuz 2 became a rescue mission, with the crew modifying their mission goals to include repairing the Soyuz 1's solar panels. But the night of the rescue mission, a freak lightning storm meant launch was impossible. Soon, oxygen began to dwindle, but without functioning solar panels, the likelihood of the capsule bringing up upon burning up upon re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere was extremely high. Taking his life into his own hands, Colonel Komarov activated the Soyuz 1's retro rockets and attempted to return to Earth. I remember the control room, how we could hear the terror in Komarov's voice. At any moment we expected the radio link to die. Each passing second was one where capsule could burst. At any moment we expected the radio link to die. Each passing second was one where the capsule could burst into flames, roasting Komarov alive. The moment the capsule broke through the atmosphere safely, Komarov practically screamed for joy. All that was left was to deploy the capsule's parachutes. When we asked for confirmation of the second parachute's opening, there was silence. Then Komarov spoke. "The second parachute has failed to deploy." Have you ever heard a brave man scream in mortal terror? It's something I try to forget every single day. 2 long minutes we listened to Komarov scream as he plummeted towards. Then Komarov spoke. "The second parachute has failed to deploy." Have you ever heard a brave man scream in mortal terror? It is something I try to forget every single day. 2 long minutes we listened to Komarov scream as he plummeted towards Earth at an almost 100 miles per hour. The distorted, crackling shrieks of a man who had survived the cold frontiers of the cosmos, only to die to a mechanical failure. Oh my God. The distorted, crackling shrieks of a man who had survived the cold frontiers of the cosmos, only to die to a mechanical failure. Komarov's screams reached fever pitch, a crackling roar that echoed around the control room until suddenly the radio link went quiet. I keep a radio. Man, I can't make it like one sentence. Roll every R. No thanks. I keep a radio on in my house, always. I hate the sound of silence. It takes me right back to that control room after the radio link went dead. But I cannot escape it. In my nightmares, as I'm falling to earth, I cannot hear the wind rush past me. I cannot hear my own screams. There's nothing but the sound of silence. I wasn't sure if that was like hinting towards some type of twist ending or something like that, but maybe it was just was considered a member. There's like a join button. If you click that join button, you get like extra perks on the channel. T, thanks, dude. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out places. Where's Mama? She was 4 years old now, not out of the baby talk phase. Mama's at home, sweetie, I said, giving her little hand a gentle squeeze. I feel hurty again. I know, you're sick, sweetie, but it won't hurt much longer, I promise. Okay, but how much longer? Only 15 minutes more, not long, I replied as we continued along a dusty dirt road. I felt awful making her walk so far. The cancer was eating up her insides by now. It was amazing she could even walk at all. Then I saw it, a small cottage set among the trees. We're here. I'm scared, she replied. Me too. I walked her up the cracked paving slabs of the garden path. It was then I saw the flies, hundreds of them, their faint buzzing building into a crescendo hum. Mr. Clizzy with to read it in a Russian accent. Yeah, I like kind of wanted to, but then I was like, I don't want to like try hard it too hard at the same time. You know what I mean? As far as like the accent, and I hate like when stories have like yelling dialogue wise, because I feel like I always end up like blowing out the mic. It's just kind of annoying. And I feel like if I really would have like put effort into like encompassing a Russian man about to die saying the parachutes didn't, but I don't even know. I can't even do the fucking accent. I walked her up the cracked paving slabs of the garden path. It was then I saw the flies, hundreds of them, their faint buzzing building into a crescendo hum as they crawled all over the structure. Shouldn't we knock? She asked innocently as we reached the front door. No, we don't have to. Not here. Inside, sat in front of a roaring hearth, was an old woman. A roaring fire, yet I saw no smoke billowing from the chimney on our approach. I know why you're here, she croaked, taking out a small leather-bound wallet. It contained surgical equipment. I don't like her, came the infant voice next to me. I shot her a look, silently chastising her rudeness. She groaned before speaking again. Where's Mama? I told you, sweetie, Mommy's at home. I know, but where's Daddy? I shuddered. No more questions now. It's time. Wait, is that... whose voice, or is that... I can't tell if it was... Hearth, pronounced Hearth. For Mother Russia, the parachutes did not deploy. Inside, sat in front of a roaring hearth was an old woman. A roaring fire, yet I saw no smoke billowing from the chimney on our approach. I know why you're here, she croaked, taking out a small leather-bound wallet. It contained surgical equipment. I don't like her, came the infant voice next to me. I shot her a look, silently chastising her rudeness. She groaned before speaking again. Where's Mama? I told you, sweetie. Mommy's at home. I know, but where's Daddy? I shuddered. No more questions now. It's time. We took a few steps towards the old woman. Such innocence. Needless afflicted. Such innocence. Needless afflicted. Maybe needlessly? I don't know. Needlessly. Such innocence. Needlessly afflicted. She rasped. I couldn't see her face, but I could hear the smile on her voice. Oh, wait. What the fuck? Pradeep found something here. Hold on. It looks kind of big. One second. Holy fuck. Pradeep killed like a really big hornet. I saw him like making weird, or I heard noises and I looked down and he's like swatting at something. Yeah, he found my dildo. And I look over and I was like, oh my god, it's a big bug. So I was like, is that a huge spider? And no, it's a fucking it was like a hornet. Which is really weird, like it's like the middle of the night. All that ass. The sun's not out. I don't know, I'm just like thinking like, how the fuck did a hornet get in here? And if, I don't know, it's just like such a random spot. Did he get stung? I don't think so. He was swatting at it. And he seems to be chill. I'm just like wondering, where the fuck did a hornet come from? A murder hornet. Anyways. She doesn't have long left, I said, my voice cracking up. Please help me. Then give her here. The girl looked up at her with pleading eyes, but still I pushed her towards the old woman. She took the little girl by the hand, whispered a few words over her. She took the little girl by the hand, whispered a few words over her, then reached into the wallet of surgical tools. Then, with one swift motion, she brought the blade of a scalp across her throat. I couldn't watch, not as she held the girl as the blood drained from her tiny body, not as she cut off the parts she needed and ground them into a mush in an old pestle. Pestle? I thought it was a pedestal. Oh, I'm an idiot. Pestle. Mortar and pestle. That'd be a good kind of like video game title. Mortar and pestle, and it's like two characters that like, maybe it's like a co-op game, but you like mix powers together to create cool shit. Like pharmaceutical items that you can snort. Not as she cut off the parts she needed and ground them into mush in an old pestle and mortar. When she was done, she clicked her fingers. Drink. I took the stone bowl in my hands, brought it to my lips, and did as I was told. I don't feel anything anymore. Not the pain of childhood abuse, nor the longing for the family. I lost the gun-obsessed loner who decided to go out with a bang. Not even the guilt of abducting a little girl from a family that loved her, even if she was doomed to die young. I don't feel a fucking thing anymore. And I love it. Is this a creepypasta? Yeah, it is. You have a mortar and pestle? That's cool. What do you pestle in it? What do you smush up? I'm a Viking goddess. Are you? Usually raw spices. Okay. Yeah, it was kind of a quick one, I guess. But I knew that there was going to have to be some type of, like, you know, trick, twist ending or something to make it spooky. Spooky, scary. We use things to grind ours very fine, like herbs and stuff. That's cool. Usually smush my balls in it. Yeah, exactly. As one should, traditionally. I gotta dip out. Supposed to wake up early tomorrow. 52 totally mistakes for... Alright, someone's gotta pick up. 52. We were pretty close because this is the last story. Maybe I won't make a mistake and... Vixa had them all counted up. Thank you, Vixen. Have a good evening. There once was a cowboy who drove cattle through wild Montana. He rode a paint horse, sipped whiskey, and had none but one wish. That when he died, he would be buried on a great treeless hill he oft made camp on to rest forever where the prairies meet the sky. One day, the cowboy happened upon a band of gray backmen. Gray backmen? Gray backmen. Is that a thing? Gray backmen? Like a bandit thing? I type it in, it's just like a bunch of gray-haired men. The legacy recently discovered USA grayback. Oh, I see. Humus. One day, the cowboy happened upon a band of grayback men, escaping justice men with graybacks, yeah, some type of silverback gorillas. One day, the cowboy happened upon a band of grayback men, escaping justice westward as Sherman burned the South. They whistled Dixie and offered him some moonshine from a still they had set up. The cowboy drank his fill and sang lonesome cowpoke tunes. But those rebels had the devil on their shoulders. When he was good and drunk, the rebels took a piece of cast iron and bashed in the cowboy's skull. They took his paint horse and his old Sharps rifle and continued their ride westward. But the cowboy woke up the next morning. Pale as a corpse from the grave. He was half blind and leaking brains, but he could not rest, for he was not lying on that great treeless hill where the prairies meet the sky. On foot, he tracked the rebels westward, over rivers and mountains, across the plains and through the trees, gaining on them just a little more each day. Until one night, he smelled campfire smoke, cooked meat, and the sweet stink of moonshine. He saw the men who did him wrong, and he swore he'd do the same. He crept into their camp, saw his paint horse tied to a tree and his old Sharps rifle lying on the ground. He picked the old rifle up, slowly kissed the cold steel of the barrel, before one by one he shot those rebels down, relishing the sound of their screams as each one hit the dirt. Dude, my voice cracking is like the biggest blue balling experience as a narrator of all fucking time. All fucking time. This is a Western story. Well, butter my biscuit. I have got to buy a Winchester rifle. You most certainly do. And quick. Alright, where the hell was I? Then a flash came from the tree. Oh, I see. He crept into their camp, saw his paint horse tied to a tree, and his old Sharps rifle lying on the ground. He picked the old rifle up, slowly kissed the cold steel of the barrel before one by one he shot those rebels down, relishing the sound of their screams as each one hit the dirt. Then a flash came through the trees, and a southern slug tore through his gut. The cowboy collapsed back against a tree. He thought he had shot them all, but he had not. The last rebel crept towards the fallen cowboy and placed his revolver against his head. He expected the cowboy to beg, but instead, the cowboy looked up at him, with one milky eye, his brains matted in his hair, and began to laugh. He laughed and laughed, laughing up his blood. Whoops. MV with the 10 says, could you do a quick story about how awesome my dog Soldier was? He lived 15 years and still didn't want to go. 15 years? That is a long dog life. What kind of pupperoonie was that? I remember I had a husky who was like 15 years old. True. He was one of those dogs where I just feel like I took him for granted, you know what I mean? In the sense of like, I didn't realize how fucking cool he was until I was, because like, I was pretty young, you know, when we got him, because he was like a dog that my brother adopted who was living not, you know, he was on his own, and he couldn't take care of the dog, so we, you know, took him in, and I just feel like I didn't appreciate him for how fucking cool he was, because he was like a really cool, like, Malamute husky type. It's crazy, like, he regulated his own eating patterns, like, he would only eat a little bit at a time, and never got fat, you know what I mean? I guess that's exciting. I don't know. But yeah, he was a great dog, and I just feel like I remember it was crazy. My parents, I never saw this, but my parents said like he would climb trees to go like after birds and kill birds, and he was like the only dog they ever had that killed groundhogs and never got like a scratch on him. You know what I mean? Which I didn't even know. I didn't even know he killed groundhogs, but I guess he did it pretty frequently in the yard. And I guess he would just, you know, because they almost weighed as much as he fucking did sometime for the most part. But, I mean, he was like sort of part wolf. But yeah, my dad said just have no scratch on him, no blood, just was like super, super efficient at killing animals. And I don't know. And he was really nice, like super, super nice, like probably the nicest dog ever. He had an 18-year-old three-legged dog that had dragon teats for her birth. Oh, 18 years old, that's a long time for a pup. He laughed and laughed, laughing up his blood, because he found he could not die, not until he lay peacefully where the prairies meet the sky. The rebel turned pale as the cowboy then turned, mounted his horse, and rode away. Holding his guts in with a filthy, calloused hand, the cowboy rose once again and began his long walk northeast, back into wild Montana. He walked until he saw that great hill rising up from the plains, and it was there he finally laid down, and with a smile, he closed his eyes, for he was finally back where he belonged, where he would rest in peace forever. On that great hill in Montana, where the prairies meet the sky. That was a cool one. I feel like what was cool about all of these is that they all sort of like, it kind of reminded me of watching Love, Death, and Robots. You know what I mean? Because if you ever watch Love, Death, and Robots, you kind of like burn through the whole season within like an hour. And I don't know. Your two Dobermans would dig up rattlesnakes and play tug of war till they snapped. Man, I'd be afraid, you know, that the rattlesnake would bite one of the dogs or something. You feel like it needed to be sung instead of read. Yeah, it had like sort of like a poetry sort of vibe to it, but you know, it didn't quite rhyme, but still had that sort of cadence, I feel like. Yeah, it was an awesome set of stories, honestly. I feel like, I don't know, those were really cool. But for those of you that are members, have the green name next to you, or you are the $5 tier supporter over on Patreon, you will have access to these stories nice and edited together in their entirety. So stay tuned for that. I'll be able to announce that on Twitter or Instagram. Twitter is at Let's Read Creepy. And set the notifications on there so you can get hit up for all the new streams if you're trying to catch those, because sometimes YouTube doesn't notify everyone, but I do believe Twitter does. So, and then Instagram is at letsread.official. There's also some new TikToks coming out soon. How exciting. At letsread_podcast over on TikTok. My friend is just editing some of those. How's this over already? I know, it blew by. It was 3 hours. But they were all good stories. I think that's what was fun about them, is they were all like, I do like fiction sometimes. Did you have more schooling yet? Yeah, so like the class that I was supposed to take, I had it for the first week, which was like 2 Fridays ago, and then it got canceled on the second Friday, and then it got canceled this Friday as well, and then it got rescheduled for this Sunday, and then it got canceled today on this Sunday, or, you know, earlier today. And so tentatively I think I'm going to have the acting class again on Wednesday or Friday, but obviously, and it's no, you know, it's not like a huge deal. It's just kind of like, I'm not really sure. I know that the person running it kind of just made a move, you know, they just moved to a different state, and it's been or like moved house somewhere, I forget, but it's been chaotic, I'm sure, for them, so no problem at all. I mean, I'm looking forward to it because I think it's going to be a lot of fun, just to read script, you know what I mean? What do they call it? Read copy or whatever, and just have fun and see what kind of characters I can manifest out of my brain hole and mouth hole. Joyal the TikTok girl. If you write up a series of creepy train stories, will you read them? I mean, you can submit them, but I mean, usually people, like, are they like true scary stories, or what are they doing? Yeah, Bloody, I'm glad you can make it for the past 3. But yeah, my friends, thank you again for sticking around and the support, and thanks for all the donations and gifted subs as well. It's cool to see people that, you know, otherwise might not have access to the bonus content now have access with all the amazing gifted subs and stuff. So thank you guys for that. And yeah, I'll be getting this edited and up on Patreon early access over there. What do I mean by members only stories though? Yeah, so like the people with the green name, they click that join button and they get members access, and then it gives them access to a playlist of content that I upload for members only. It's kind of like being subscribed on like Twitch or something like that, or Patreon, you know what I mean? But I wanted to read them on stream just to like make people aware that they're coming out and that kind of thing. And, you know, encourage people to sign up for it and all that if they want to do that. But then you'll get it in fully edited format over on the bonus content and Patreon situation there, the links. So, the links! You must click the links. This is your links. But yeah, guys, thank you again. Appreciate ya. And then today's video on Monday at 7 p.m. will be a big remastered audio compilation for the podcast. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be sick nasty. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ta for now. Smooches to ya. G-night to y'all. And I'll see you soon. I'll be back Tuesday evening. Follow me on Twitter at Let's Read Creepy. Okay, goodbye.